Saginaw Valley.
From the annual Axe Bowl to the Battle of the Valleys, all the touchdowns.
He's firing over the middle. He's got a man. Caught. Touchdown Saginaw Valley.
All the tackles.
Going backwards. He's brought down for a tackle for loss again.
Every game, every play. SVSU Game Day coverage on WSGW is brought to you by
Auto House of Linwood, Bicycle Village, Euclid Avenue Coins, Morgan's Auto Repair, Curveball Collectibles, Wilson's Cheese Shop, Randy Wise Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Clio, Romero Meat Market, Jenny's Party Store, Michigan Heroes Museum, and Sign Tech.
Now, this is Saginaw Valley State University football on WSGW.
Good afternoon and welcome to Harvey Randall Wicks Memorial Stadium on the campus of Saginaw Valley State University, where we have ideal football playing conditions for the final Saturday in October. Game time temperatures in the 50s. We've got some patchy clouds. You can see some blue sky. We've got color on the trees, and we've got SVSU still basking in the glow of a 20-19 thrilling victory on the road at Grand Valley last Saturday. Cardinals still undefeated and tied for first place in GLIAC play as they host a Wayne State team that comes into this one winless on the season. Hello again, everyone. My name's JT Beam alongside Bill Hobson. Happy to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. And Bill, I don't know what else to say that we didn't say last Saturday in terms of that being one of the most improbable, inexplicable ways to win a football game that you are ever going to see. But SVSU did win that game, and now they control their own destiny in the GLIAC conference.
For a few days after last week's game, JJ still sat there thinking, what did I just see? How did this all unfold? And wishing that I could just go back and watch the whole thing again and try to make sense out of some of the things that Grand Valley is probably still trying to make sense out of. So the cool part is the Cardinals came away with that victory, and now you deal with this concept called the hangover.
Yep.
Because you come off of your season high, maybe for some of these kids, their career high thrill win, program-defining win, and your opponent the next week is really in complete disarray. And that's the case with Wayne State today. They come in without a win. They come in with, the stat sheet does not look very pretty in their favor. In fact, do you remember when you and I were much younger? There used to be free boxing on television. Wide World of Sports, Howard Cosell. And before every big match, they would put up on the screen the tail of the tape.
Yeah, yes.
You would have height, weight, reach, whatever, all these different factors that would compare the two boxers, and there would be a check mark, like we needed the help defining larger numbers, next to the boxer that had the advantage. When you look at the tail of the tape for today's contest, that was a really long road to get to this point. When you look at the tail of the tape for this matchup between the Cardinals and the Warriors from Wayne State, every single check mark is on the Saginaw Valley side of things. That's awesome. That's wonderful. That's exciting. But it also can lend itself to this less than maximum volume effort because you think perhaps that the other team is just going to roll over and let you walk over them. So I'm sure that's the thing that Coach Brady's been preaching all week, is that this game is as important as last week's game, and we come into this with full effort or we're going to be in trouble. So that's kind of how we lay things out today, and we'll talk more about where Wayne State is, what they're dealing with, what their, surprising shortcomings are considering the pedigree of their head coach, and realizing now that the Cardinals are in complete control of their playoff destiny and their conference championship hope destiny. If they keep winning, they will be the conference champions.
SVSU now one of just two undefeated teams remaining in conference play. The defending national champions at Ferris State are the other. Right now in that contest, Ferris at home leading Grand Valley 21-7. That game early in the second quarter. SVSU will host Ferris State in 2 weeks. Today taking on, as you said, a Wayne State team that definitely has been struggling on this 2025 campaign. When we come back, we will hear from SVSU head coach Ryan Brady and get his thoughts on today's matchup with the Warriors. That's coming up. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
In Old Town Saginaw, there's a pizza place folks can't stop talking about, Old World Pizzeria. Founded by folks who grew up right here in Saginaw, every pizza made from scratch every day with 3-day fermented dough, unbleached flour, imported ingredients. It's about simplicity, craft, and passion. But best of all, it's for everyone. Neighbors, food lovers, folks who just want something real and good. Old World Pizzeria. Your community, your pizza.
This is Eric Shevchenko of Old World Pizzeria in Old Town Saginaw. Come on down and get a slice.
Looking for signs and graphics of all sizes? SignTech is celebrating its 35th anniversary serving the Tri-Cities. Conveniently located on Boardwalk Drive off Bay Road in Saginaw, SignTech is your go-to for custom signs for your home or business, offering indoor and outdoor signs, vehicle wraps, sign rentals, laser engraving, and even promotional products. Trust the experts at SignTech to make your message stand out. Visit signtech1.com or call 989-791-2480. That's 989-791-2480. SignTech for all your signage needs. SignTech.
At Saginaw Valley State University, every student is unique. It's not just about learning, it's about thriving and standing out. With over 100 programs and dedicated faculty, SVSU helps you discover passions, push boundaries, and make lifelong connections. Whether in class, on the field, or in the community, we empower our Cardinals to stand out and succeed. So, what are you waiting for? Stand out with SVSU.
Looking to stay in touch with your community? Check out Great Lakes Bay Connections, a collection of shows and podcasts bringing you local voices, telling local stories from local people. Great Lakes Bay Connections features Hey, Great Lakes Bay, Generating Gratitude, That's What She Said, United Shades of Gray, Mi Gente on Air, and more. Listen weekends on WSGW, anytime on your favorite podcasting app or at WSGW.com. You're listening to SVSU football on WSGW.
Welcome back to SVSU Cardinal football pregame coverage on WSGW 100.5 FM. I'm JJ Beam, joined by SVSU head football coach Ryan Brady. And coach, we'll get to last week in just a moment, but what obviously gorgeous game conditions we have today. Final Saturday in October, SVSU hosting Wayne State. It's the admissions open house. We got an extra 1,400 people on campus today. A lot of good things atmosphere-wise going into today's contest.
Yeah, we're excited. We have over 100 recruits here as well with their families, so we're bringing another 300 to the party here. So, yeah, no, it's going to be a great atmosphere, great crowd, beautiful day here. Leaves are changing, just a great October Saturday here in Michigan.
Now let's go back to last week. Your team able to win on the road 20-19 over Grand Valley. And there's so many things we could talk about. But first, what does a win like that do for the confidence and the attitude of a football team?
Yeah, it's huge. Historic win. Really proud of the kids. Just going to be more happy for them. But that's really was the next step for us. We've won some big games here against Commerce. We beat at UND twice. Beaten Bowie State. We've had some signature wins, but we have not had, we have not beaten them yet. And so to go over there at their place and win there, which hasn't been done since 2003, and I was still in college. I remember that day. So, it's full circle. But just really, giving our kids a shot of adrenaline in the arm and, boost of confidence and letting them know how good we are capable of becoming.
And now I want to talk about special teams in particular because, it always takes 3 phases to win a football game, but your special teams effort, in terms of every phase of the special teams game was truly extraordinary and probably the deciding factor, in my judgment, in the game last week.
No, we've had about 4 weeks in a row where our special teams have been just really good. And we went into last week talking about that. Our special teams need to be our edge, that maybe this is going to be the defining characteristic of the 2025 season. Our kids have bought into that, and just outstanding. And every special team created an explosive and an impactful play, and that proved to be the difference in the game.
And your defense held Grand Valley to 38 yards rushing on the road. That really, I thought, spoke very well of what they were able to do, making Grand Valley one-dimensional.
Yeah, we were mad about that because we had a 7-yard loss that turned into 10 yards. So we're really in our mindset. Should have been 25 yards, but no, my D-line and linebackers dominated line of scrimmage. And we've come a long way on defense from earlier in the season. Just really, really proud of the kids. had a rough start, but we hung in there, and credit to the coaches, and the players. We just had a positive attitude, just taking it one day at a time, and we just continue to get better. And now we feel like we're playing our best football at the right time of the year.
And offensively, not the second half you wanted in terms of turning the ball over 3 times. You missed some opportunities, but when you needed it late in the game, you make the stop on the fake punt, and then you're able to get the one big play with Mason McKenzie's 41-yard touchdown run. So the offense did deliver in the clutch when you needed them.
No, I thought the offense just moved the ball consistently up and down the field the whole second half. Obviously frustrating in the third quarter. You drive right down and got a first and goal from the 14, and then we throw a pick in the end zone. It's like, like that one hurt. I told the kids I was so proud of them because I've never seen more adversity in a quarter of play. I don't know if as a player or a coach in my life, and we overcame that. And that was huge. But, we had 196 yards on the ground rushing, dominated the line of scrimmage, physically. I feel like we've dominated them 2 years in a row. They haven't had 100 yards rushing in 2 years combined against us, and so 50 in 2024 and to come back with 38 in 2025 is some good stuff, and so it was finally good to beat them on the scoreboard.
And now we come to today's game. You're taking on a Wayne State team that is winless on the season and has really struggled since the start of conference play. What do you do to make sure that your team doesn't overlook them and does come out ready to play today?
Yeah, we've been hard on the guys all week. We've really been pushing them, challenging them in practice, having competitive, spirited practices. And we spent a lot of time talking about not having a letdown and letting this be a trap game. Undefeated in the conference right now, trying to go 1-0 today. And we want to be playing our best football right now at this time of the year. So I challenge our guys, this needs to be our best game of the year. No exceptions, no excuses. And so we'll see what the boys have today.
And what do you need to do to play your best game, starting with what you need to see from this team defensively?
Yeah, defensively, we got to stop the run, and then really we got to stop the explosive play. It was what I was disappointed about last week. It was, the screen pass that went for 60 yards, and then we let their best player go for a 25-yard touchdown. It's like, man, you take those 2 plays away, and they only throw for like 150, and we keep them under 200 yards total offense. Talking about total domination. So, we want to stop the explosive plays. We want to stop the run, all right, and then we want to continue to be explosive on special teams, and then I want to see us rush for another 300 yards like we did last time we played at home. We want to just physically dominate up front.
And special teams, you can't necessarily match what you were able to do last week, but it's, as you said, it's been important all season and really been, I think, a strength of this team.
Yeah, I know Josh Schumacher did a great job. He's our new special teams coordinator, and credit to him, because he just got here, and so it's hard to know all the personnel in a short amount of time and who can do what. I mean, that takes sometimes years and he's did an exceptional job, and his coaches have did a great job helping him, and our kids have bought into that. And so I think we got a great plan for today for special teams. And so I think our kids are really excited about playing special teams and seeing the impact they can have, like Terrence Brown, begging to be on the punt team. Then he goes down and makes maybe the play of the game, and that gives us 3 points. It was huge. So just been a lot of positive things on that side of the ball.
We'll see if the Cardinals can put it all together in all 3 phases as they host Wayne State today. Coach Brady, good luck.
Yeah, thanks, JJ.
That's SVSU head football coach Ryan Brady. I'm JJ Boehm. Bill Hobson and I will be back with more in just a moment. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
It's your tread, Dad. Keep your vehicle safe this winter with a new set of tires from Auto House in Linwood. Auto House in Linwood has everything from all-season tires, all-terrain tires, mud tires, and snow tires, and the best tire prices around. Financing is available. Call Auto House today at 989-697-4440. That's 989-697-4440. Spending too much money in your next set of tires is your business. Saving you money in your next set of new tires is their business.
Are you looking for a reliable place to buy and sell precious metals and coins? Euclid Avenue Coin Inc. has you covered. Are you concerned whether there is gold in Fort Knox? No worries. There's gold and silver available at Euclid Avenue Coin at competitive prices. Euclid Avenue Coin Inc. is Mid-Michigan's premier dealer for silver and gold bullion, as well as coins of all types. Euclid Avenue Coin, located at 602 North Euclid Avenue in Bay City.
Looking for the best spot near SVSU for all your party needs? Jenny's Party Store on Bay Road, south of campus and north of Tittabawassee has you covered. Family owned and operated, Jenny's has it all. Specialty beer, wine, and liquor to elevate any occasion. Need a keg for your next get-together? They've got that too. And right next door, check out Twisted Smoke and Vape, your vape headquarters, with the best selection around. Jenny's Party Store and Twisted Smoke and Vape, the official tailgating stop for SVSU football. Your one-stop shop for everything you need.
Backhanded pass to Kluchik. Far side, Levi Harper. Left circle, shoots and scores! Levi Harper continues the offensive onslaught.
The Saginaw Spirit take on the Owen Sound Attack tonight at 6:50 on 100.5 FM WSGW.
The SVSU Cardinals play here on WSGW.
JJ Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium on a very nice day for football as SVSU hosts Wayne State today. Other GLIAC games, all of them already in progress. In the Miners Cup for the Battle of the UP, it is Michigan Tech leading Northern Michigan 28-3. Davenport at home is leading Roosevelt 55-9.
Ouch.
Each of those games are now in the third quarter. And in the second quarter in Big Rapids, it is Ferris State leading Grand Valley 21-14. SVSU plays Wayne State today, on the road at Davenport next Saturday, home against Ferris in 2 weeks, and then closes out the season up at Michigan Tech. And as we talked about earlier, this is a situation now where SVSU controls its own destiny in GLIAC play. And Bill, I didn't look it up, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say the odds of winning a football game when you are on the road against a top 10 opponent and turn the ball over 3 times in the second half, I'm guessing the odds of winning are less than 1%. Yet somehow that is what happened for SVSU last week.
You only get the favorable side of those odds if you're in the NBA involved in some things that came to light this week, because it does not work in your favor. And JJ, I am glad that you laid out the remaining part of the Cardinals schedule, because as big as last week's win was, the final 3 games are no gimme. I mean, obviously Ferris State's a very, very tough opponent. They're the national champions, for goodness sakes. But Davenport is a stout team.
Yep.
And a trip from Saginaw to Houghton, Michigan to close out against Michigan Tech in who knows what conditions against a team that is 2-1 in the conference means that this team is going to have to keep on improving every single week. So today is one of those moments where you cannot let yourself kind of get into that lackadaisical mindset where we'll get this one easy and then we'll get all ready for the big rivalry game coming up in a couple of weeks. They've still got to go over to Grand Rapids and beat Davenport before they come back here for Ferris. If they don't do that, then it takes away the ability to control your own future when it comes to this conference race. We'll talk about the tail of the tape as we get a little closer to kickoff, but everything indicates from the season-long performance of both of these teams to this point that the Cardinals should have some celebrating to do today, keep people healthy, and perhaps even get some playing time for players who don't always get a chance to see the field. One stat that I will point out to you right now is just total offense. We won't go any deeper than total offense. On the season, the Cardinals are averaging 421 yards per game. That's second in the GLIAC. Wayne State is averaging 210 per game. That is dead last in the GLIAC.
Well, and the piece of that is most surprising to me when you look at the numbers is that the head coach at Wayne State is Tyrone Wheatley, who was an outstanding running back for the University of Michigan, went on to play in the NFL. You'd expect his teams to be able to run the football, but Wayne State for the season is averaging just 50 yards rushing per game. So if you can't run the football, you make yourself one-dimensional, and you are much easier to defend against.
Yeah, there are times when in golf you'll hit a shot that is so far off course it only goes a few yards, and you'll say, well, it wasn't straight, but at least it was short. Well, in the case of Wayne State, they can't run the ball, but at least they also can't throw it. They have struggled big time. They're averaging 160 passing yards per game. That's 7th in the conference. And so in talking with some of their radio team members before our broadcast began, they just talked about how some of the most talented players from Wayne State went into the portal and departed. And they went to all sorts of different schools. One of them went to a school up in Minnesota that in its conference is undefeated and rolling, and this guy is just loving life and thinks he made the best decision ever. Well, that's what's really impacted their program on a large scale. So they're hurting. They're hurting for talent. They're hurting for depth. And, I guess the case could be made that perhaps along the offensive line, they need to fill some gaps, because if you're not running the ball or effectively throwing the ball, it's going to be a long season, and it has been for them.
They had a chance in week 2 against a Findlay team that's undefeated on the season. Wayne State had a chance in that game. They lost it 7-3, but they had it 4th and goal for the go-ahead touchdown in the 4th quarter of that contest. Could not put it in, but since then it has been some lopsided scores, especially since it has gotten into conference play for Wayne State. Captains are each assembling along their respective sidelines. They'll head out for the opening coin toss. We'll have the results of that. And then today's matchup between SVSU and Wayne State. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Hey, nice rack.
Excuse me?
The bike rack on your car?
Oh, right. Thanks. It's for an e-bike. Got it and the bike from Bicycle Village.
Nice. Beautiful frame.
Oh, thank you.
I meant the bike.
Oh.
For the best new and used bikes in your hometown, shop Bicycle Village. Get an e-bike and rack for a road trip or stay idle and fit with Schwinn Fitness equipment. Bicycle Village, serving the Great Lakes Bay Area for over 50 years. Bicycle Village, SaginawValley.com.
Want to stand out? At Saginaw Valley State University, we break the mold. With hands-on experiences, cutting-edge technology, and professors who challenge you, SVSU is where you can thrive. Discover a campus alive with energy, where Cardinals can support each other. This is your chance to make bold moves, explore new ideas, and stand out. The future is yours. Stand out and succeed at SVSU.
The WSGW online poll for you.
Is violence necessary? A recent NPR PBS News Marist poll indicated while 70% disagree, 30% of people believe Americans may have to resort to violence to get the country back on track. Politically, it's Republicans at 31%, Democrats 28%, and Independents 25%. Not surprisingly, when asked whether the country was going in the right or wrong direction, 80% of Republicans said right, 90% of Democrats said wrong. Among independents, 68% said wrong. The WSGW online poll for you: do you think violence is necessary to get the country back on track? You vote yes, you vote no, you vote I'm not sure. Head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and place your vote in the online poll box.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
JJ Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium as the SVSU football team takes the field. SVSU in their home blue jerseys today, going with the white pants, and then blue helmets with the red Cardinal emblem for SVSU. Wayne State in their traveling road white jerseys, green pants, green numbers, green helmets with gold trim, and the gold W for Wayne State. And we want to thank everyone who came in out to campus today for the SVSU Admissions Open House. We welcomed about 1,400 guests today. So if you're not one of those in the stands here and you're perhaps driving home to whatever you have going on this Saturday afternoon, we thank you for joining us. And you really could not ask for more ideal conditions for the final Saturday in October.
If you're entertaining 1,400 potential students at SVSU and their families, and you can roll out a late October day that's about 52 degrees, perfectly sunny, no wind, and it's just fall at its pure Michigan finest, I'd say, JJ, you scripted that fairly well.
I can't take any credit for it. I've probably gotten blamed for it if it went poorly, so I'll accept it anyway.
Right.
But yes, no, it has been a great opportunity all day, and now a great opportunity for this SVSU football team to remain undefeated in conference play, to close out the month of October with 4 victories, and Wayne State has elected to receive, so it will be SVSU kicking off. Cardinals will fly from left to right here in the opening quarter. Not much breeze to speak of here in the Saginaw Valley today. Sterling Anderson is deep to receive for Wayne State.
You know, in the pregame show, and by the way, I listened carefully like a good student should, I did hear Coach Brady say, our special teams has been busy preparing some special things. I'm wondering if they're looking to put some things on tape from a special teams perspective today that their future opponents might have to worry about. So we'll try to stay alert for any trickeration that might come our way. I doubt that it will happen on the opening kickoff.
Tegan Lenderink, the reigning GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week, following his outstanding performance at Grand Valley in the Cardinals' victory last Saturday, has it teed up at the 35, and he gets a good foot to this one. This one goes 3 yards deep in the end zone, and Wayne State will decide to take the touchback. And now we've already got a penalty flag on the opening kickoff. The SVSU player involved was Colin Kratz. And he's now heading back to the near sideline and is going to go over to Josh Schumacher, the special teams coordinator, and perhaps offer an explanation, because the way he's coming off makes me think this one is going against SVSU.
After the play, personal foul, kicking team number 33.
I did not see it because it was so far away from the play, but
that's not one of the special surprises that Coach Brady was talking about. That's the kind that keeps you off the field. When you start the game, giving up 15% of the yardage of the real estate on that field. So right out of the gate, Wayne State sets up on the Cardinal 40 to begin.
Champion Edwards is back this week after missing last week. He's a transfer from El Camino Community College, originally from Los Angeles. At the controls for Wayne State, they go, and did he lose the ball? He did, and now he's going to be buried in the backfield for a loss by McDonald and Beauvais. That is an inauspicious beginning for Wayne State offensively.
He went to throw a screen, a quick receiver screen, which, of course, is on my list of favorite plays ever. And on the first play from scrimmage, the ball falls. It just slips out of his hands. I thought it might be an incomplete pass. I guess, technically speaking, a fumble on play one.
And a 6-yard loss.
Wow.
So SVSU quickly finds themselves in an advantage position defensively. Wayne State 2nd and 16. Edwards drops back to pass. Just a 2-receiver route throwing to the far side, and it is intercepted by Josh Brown. Flag on the play. So Josh Brown, after missing last week, back for SVSU, but I think he's going to get pass interference. The pass was underthrown, and as the receiver came back towards the play, he and Brown got tied up, and I think they're going to call Josh Brown, the SVSU defensive back, for pass interference.
Pass interference, defense, number 19, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that is the call.
That's a legitimate call.
I agree. It's tough on the defensive back because the pass was so underthrown that you're not expecting the receiver to come back towards the line of scrimmage. But I agree that definitely enough there for the flag to be thrown.
It was an easy pick, basically because he removed the receiver from the equation. So Cardinals already committing 2 big penalties here on the opening possession for Wayne State.
And now Wayne State will run it between the tackles on first down. Bevier gets the initial hit for SVSU defensively. This will go for a gain of about 3 for Xavier Tyus, sophomore running back out of Portage Northern.
How about Wayne State on its own has accounted for minus 3 yards of total offense, but the Cardinals have given them 30 yards of field position. So not the clean start you'd be looking for coming into this one.
Sets up 2nd and 7 for Wayne State, already at the SVSU 48-yard line. Edwards rolling to his right, throws to the far side, has a receiver open. He makes the catch and will have the first down. That was Drew Hickmott, redshirt freshman out of Ortonville. Brandon, transfer from the University of Michigan. And that gives Wayne State Now a first down all the way down to the SVSU 32-yard line.
And he is the most frequent target of Champion Edwards' passes. So keep an eye on number 12. And that time the Cardinals did not. He was left wide open on that right wing.
So a pistol look offset to the left here for Wayne State on 1st and 10. Edwards hands it off, coming to the near side. Big hit delivered on second effort. Looks like Tyus got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Good play, stuffing that run. If you look at the bottom of the pile, that's usually where all that momentum stops. And for the Cardinals, that was Isaiah Plucha, who the redshirt freshman, who put all 300 pounds in the way of that offensive line, and he won. Low man wins, and that time the low man was wearing number 50 in blue.
6'2", 300-pound redshirt freshman out of Dearborn Divine Child.
I don't want to buy those groceries.
2nd and 10 now for Wayne State. 3-receiver package this time. Edwards rolling to the near side, throws it up, and it is incomplete. There was good coverage there anyway on the pass intended for Devon Bentley.
They rolled a running back around on sort of a crossing route from the right side all the way to the left sideline. The pass was just a little too high for him. So after what would, I think, have to be considered a sloppy opening defensive series, the Cardinals now have a chance to maybe get off the field or at least force a very long field goal try. It's 3rd and 10 now.
Would be about a 49-yard attempt from here if Wayne State gets no further forward progress. 3 receivers split wide to the right. Cardinals bring pressure. Edwards throws to the far side. Incomplete. Closest man to it was DJ Volts. Hickmott was the intended receiver for Wayne State, and it looks like Tyrone. Nope, now he's going to switch and bring out a special teams unit.
Warriors actually did a good job of picking that blitz up. They gave a little bit more time for Edwards to throw, but he just sailed it wide, and we will see a 49-yard field goal attempt from a left-footed kicker coming out. Number 40, Griffin Nowak.
And again, no breeze to speak of today. This one from right between the hashes. A little bit of a low snap. Kick is blocked. And it is scooped up by Saginaw Valley. DJ Volts is the one who got the recovery. But SVSU, for the second straight week, blocks a kick.
Man, at the end of the season, when somebody puts together the highlight video for this Cardinal team, it's going to have a lot of special teams plays in it. That was a powerful surge up front by the Cardinals field goal block unit. It was a very low kick as well. I mean, it never got over head level of anybody. But, man, this special teams unit continues to make statements, to make important plays week after week after week. And Wayne State thought they had some potential for points on the board, and the special teams stuffed that.
Cardinals take over at their own 38-yard line. Handoff to Jamerson on first down, running off left guard. Picks up about 4 yards out to the 42-yard line.
You know, it's funny. Wayne State fielded the opening kick in the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals gifted them 15 yards on an unsportsmanlike penalty. Then they gifted them another 15 yards. And in the end of that whole long possession, which lasted about 4.5 minutes, 16 total yards for Wayne State.
Timothy Alonzo Jr., the defensive lineman for SVSU, getting credit for the block on the field goal attempt. So good job by Timothy, senior defensive lineman out of Maple Heights, Ohio. 2nd and 5. McKenzie has time, throws over the middle, but behind his intended receiver, Eric Kraft. Good protection, but Eric Kraft, the senior wideout, one of the team captains, he was definitely one step further towards the center of the field than where McKenzie delivered that football.
It's not often you see Mason sail one that wide. That was just an inaccurate throw. He was not under pressure, and Kraft was sitting still after finding a little soft spot in the zone. Just a misconnection, and the Cardinals now look at 3rd and 5.
11:08 to play first quarter, no score. SVSU going with a 4-receiver package. McKenzie, quarterback draw, breaks a tackle, and he's got the first down and more as he dives right across midfield There was one attempt at an ankle tackle near the line of scrimmage. McKenzie broke that and then easily able to pick up the first down.
I can guarantee you, JJ, that the defensive coordinators from Northeastern State, Gannon, Northwood, New Haven, Northern Roosevelt, and Grand Valley all knew that was going to be a quarterback draw on 3rd and 5. And we did too.
And SVSU converts, keeps the drive going. Here, handoff to Jamerson coming to the near side, breaks an arm tackle, still on his feet. He's into Wayne State territory, down near the Wayne State 30-yard line. As Wayne State grabs some jersey, they tried to punch out the football, but they could not tackle Michael Jamerson, who runs off a big gain for the Cardinals.
Broke an arm tackle, broke a T-shirt tackle, broke a towel tackle, all of the things. He broke all the tackles.
McKenzie here, quarterback draw again, running between the tackles, gets inside the 30, down to about the 29-yard line.
Uh-oh. There's some frustration out there from the boys from Detroit. Flag comes up. There was a late hit that came in on McKenzie as he went down, and the lineman came in and kind of stood up for their quarterback, who's shaking off some cobwebs from getting an elbow to the chops. Now there's multiple pieces of laundry. I see 3 flags, so my guess is we'll see the always useless offsetting penalties coming here shortly.
Well, there, I think, are at least 2 sets of fouls. I think there's the initial set. Then I think there's a second set.
Second wave?
A second wave. So I think the second one is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against Wayne State. It looked like Phil Cato, the defensive back, was getting a talking to from the officials as he went back to the Wayne State sideline. So I think that's the second infraction. The first one, it will depend on whether or not there were offsetting penalties or whether that too is only against Wayne State.
They are still huddling, the men in these striped shirts. As McKenzie went past the line of scrimmage, there was a lineman who was in pursuit. And when Mason was tackled, a good 2 steps later, that lineman, I did not catch his number, went down and gave a little elbow shot to the head. That understandably and justifiably would anger the offensive linemen who are out there to protect their quarterback. And so everything that resulted after the play came from that late hit. It is interesting, though. We're still looking at a referee conference that doesn't appear to be anywhere close to winding down. I don't know if there's an ejection coming or a targeting coming or
what. I do think there's an unsportsmanlike conduct coming. And now remember, you only get 2 of those.
Yeah.
The first one needs to be recorded and announced, because then if you get a second unsportsmanlike conduct in the same game, you are ejected.
I'm just surprised at how long it's taking to sort this out. Everybody's reclaiming their yellow flags now. Oh, that's my yellow flag. No, that's my yellow flag. That's my yellow flag.
We're still
we still don't have an indication of the penalties.
9:57 to play first quarter, still no score. SVSU has it in Wayne State territory, and now it looks like we will get an explanation.
There are multiple dead ball fouls, both by each team. Unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 49 and number 3. Also, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 75. Only one penalty being enforced, captured instead of goal, automatic first down. That is all 3 players' first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
So, again, 3 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, 2 on Wayne State, 1 against SVSU. Not the Wayne State player that I saw get the talking to from the official, but it does now give SVSU first down in the red zone at the Wayne State 14-yard line. Handoff to Jamerson, running off the left side and able to push it down near the 10-yard line before he's finally brought down.
Yeah, the Cardinal who was nabbed for unsportsmanlike was 75 Sean Chahu, and he was the first one to come in to the defense of Mason McKenzie. I didn't catch both Wayne State numbers, but interestingly, because it was 2 against the Warriors and 1 against the Cardinals, it resulted in a 15-yard walk-off against Wayne State. That's what sets up SVSU now inside the 15.
2nd and 6 from the Warrior 11. McKenzie drops back to pass, blitz coming, and the pass is tipped. No, that's a fumble.
Wow.
And
did he lose the ball just like Edwards did on his first pass of the game?
It's recovered by Drew Cakemeister, the SVSU tight end. I thought it was deflected.
I did too.
But apparently it must have been a fumble, because then Cakemeister fortunately fell on it for SVSU. And
The fumble recovered by the offense.
Yep. So
as soon as Mason made a motion, he started chasing after the ball. I mean, that's a sure indication as the quarterback that when it came out. I could not tell, but clearly the officials also ruled it a fumble, and so now it backs the ball up to 3rd and 9 on the 15.
McKenzie back to pass, has a good pocket, throws high. What a catch in the end zone. Terrence Brown, touchdown Saginaw Valley.
Now that was on target. That was a laser, and Brown climbs the ladder to grab it for the Cardinals' first touchdown of the day, and a kind of a disjointed offensive possession ends as best it could in the end zone with a Cardinal touchdown.
Boy, McKenzie split 2 defenders, and as you said, Bill, Terrence Brown really went up to go get that one.
Yeah, that was not a wide open reception. That was just going over top of the defense.
And SVSU finds the scoreboard first. Extra point from Lenderick is on the way, and it is good. So SVSU leading Wayne State 7-0, 8:47 to play first quarter. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
In Old Town Saginaw, there's a pizza place folks can't stop talking about, Old World Pizzeria. Founded by folks who grew up right here in Saginaw, every pizza made from scratch every day with 3-day fermented dough, unbleached flour, imported ingredients. It's about simplicity, craft, and passion. But best of all, it's for everyone. Neighbors, food lovers, folks who just want something real and good. Old World Pizzeria, your community, your pizza.
This is Eric Shevchenko of Old World Pizzeria in Old Town Saginaw. Come on down and get a slice.
Mi Gente on Air.
Nationwide, it's a difficult time for Latinos. I'm your host, Larry Rodarte. This week, Angel Gomez from Chesney talks about why he started the Latino caucus of the Saginaw Democratic Party and why it's important. Join us.
Mi Gente on Air, Saturday mornings at 5 and Sunday evenings at 8 on WSGW and online at WSGW.com.
This is Saginaw Valley State University football on WSGW.
JJ Beam, Bill Hobson back where SVSU puts together an 8-play, 62-yard drive. Mason McKenzie able to find Terrence Brown for an 11-yard touchdown to give SVSU the early lead, 7-0 with 8:47 to play here in the opening quarter.
And the Cardinals doing what they have to do, which is kind of get out to an early lead, make a statement on a team that is really struggling and probably not going to be fighting for long. I don't know, any of you who have ever played sports, and if you've been on a team that's just winless and you're 3/4 of the way through your season, man, it is really tough to maintain all of that fight that you're supposed to have in you. And I have a feeling that if the Cardinals can get a few touchdowns on the board, Wayne State may start the buses up a little early.
Tegan Lendering kicking off for SVSU, puts a good foot to this one. This one sails 7 yards deep in the end zone and will be taken through the back of the end zone by Anderson. So that'll be a touchback out to the 25-yard line. And we'll see what SVSU comes out with defensively. Wayne State got into SVSU territory on their opening possession, but that I was going to say that was largely because of 2 SVSU penalties that gave them 30 yards.
This is a strange start to the game. There have been 3 penalties called. All of them have been for 15 yards. So the Cardinals guilty of 2 of them and Wayne State guilty of 1 of them. You know, it makes you long for the good old-fashioned days of an illegal procedure.
Champion Edwards back in at quarterback for Wayne State, brings a man in motion on first down. And now he's going to throw it on first down, has a receiver to the near side, but Chung does a good job to wrestle that receiver out of bounds. That was Justice Tuggle, the senior out of Detroit Central High School, transfer from Bethune-Cookman, who got maybe a yard on the play.
Champion Edwards averages about 127 yards passing per game, and we've only seen him now for a few plays, but he doesn't look smooth in just transferring the ball from the snap to a throwing position. He's really fumbled around with it. That ball came out almost like a knuckleball on that little swing pass.
3 receivers split wide to the right. Edwards throws it underneath. It's caught, but Chung does a good job of making the tackle again.
Chung going up high for his tackles on these last 2 plays and spinning the receiver down to the ground. He's going to have to get some form tackle going on an athlete that might break that shoulder attempt. But so far, he's made the last 2 stops, and the Cardinals already have Wayne State looking at 3rd and 5.
That was Angel Carrillo.
Oh, look at you.
Making the
Did
catch.
you roll the R?
I did.
Dude, that's impressive.
And he is a transfer from Livingstone. If you remember, SVSU was supposed to play Livingstone in week 4 this season. The university closed, and so a bunch of players went looking for new places to play.
That does put a crimp on the matchup.
And here Edwards trying to scramble for the first down. Will not get to the line to gain. Good job by SVSU running multiple waves of defensive personnel to the football. And Edwards comes up about 3 yards short.
Edwards a little slow in making that decision to take off. And the Cardinals, you could see the blue jerseys converging as it became clear he was no longer a threat to throw. And sort of one of the keys to maintaining a scrambling opening is making the defense think you might throw it at any minute. He took away that mystery, and the Cardinals took away his movement.
Dove Eitzen just does get the punt away for Wayne State. It does take a good warrior roll, as it is going to get down inside the 30-yard line and will be finally brought to rest at about the SVSU 26-yard line. 6:32 to play first quarter. SVSU leading 7-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Looking for the best spot near SVSU for all your party needs? Jenny's Party Store on Bay Road, south of campus and north of Tittabawassee has you covered. Family owned and operated, Jenny's has it all. Specialty beer, wine, and liquor to elevate any occasion. Need a keg for your next get-together? They've got that too. And right next door, check out Twisted Smoke and Vape, your vape headquarters, with the best selection around. Jenny's Party Store and Twisted Smoke and Vape, the official tailgating stop for SVSU football. Your one-stop shop for everything you need.
The SVSU Cardinals play here on WSGW.
J.J. Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium on a very nice Saturday afternoon. Game time temperatures in the 50s. We've got patchy clouds overhead. SVSU coming off a thrilling road victory at Grand Valley last Saturday. Cardinals winning 20-19 and remaining undefeated in GLIAC play. Now hosting a Wayne State team coming into this one winless, and the Cardinals about to begin their second possession of the contest.
I would look for them to establish some dominance with the running game. As we saw Jamerson with a couple of carries, 3 carries for 25 yards on that first possession. And don't forget about that other weapon that the Cardinals offense has wearing the number 0. I mean, he can line up in the backfield, in the slot like he is now. He can line up out wide. He can play defense. I mean, Terrence Brown is a threat no matter where he is on the field.
On first down, McKenzie from the shotgun. Drops back to pass. Has time. Looking. Now he's going to scramble. Runs up the middle and will not get to the first down. Nice open field tackle made there by Wayne State. That was Martell Williams making the stop. That's not an easy thing to do in the open field against Mason McKenzie after a gain of about 6.
Get Mason one-on-one against the linebacker, and I'll take that showdown pretty much any time, but a very sure-handed tackle by Williams.
But it is a nice first down pickup for SVSU nevertheless. Officially a gain of 7. Sets up 2nd and 3. Terrence Brown comes in motion. McKenzie fakes it to him, keeps it himself. Almost leaps over a tackler and is brought down at the 45-yard line. That was Kelly Matthews, the safety for Wayne State, who made the tackle.
He was definitely the last line of defense for that Warrior defense, because if Mason somehow hurdles him, which was the attempt, it's a Cardinal touchdown. No chance of anybody catching him from behind.
Here, handoff to Jamerson, picks his way and picks up about 3 yards out to the SVSU 48-yard line. Michael Jamerson had a very good game rushing in the second half at Grand Valley last Saturday.
Cardinal offensive line loves this run-first focus on this possession. I just watched Ryan Whitley sit on top of a defender. He just was in no hurry to get back to his feet. And when you can dominate the line of scrimmage, it's fun to be a lineman.
2nd and 7. McKenzie quarterback draw. Scoots his way out to about the 50-yard line, so a gain of a couple. Good job by Wayne State that time. They didn't give McKenzie any running lane, so he just kind of ducked under the would-be tacklers to pick up what he could.
That's one of the few times that I have seen Mason not explore the gaps around the edges, because with the middle being as filled up as it was, there was some room around that right edge. And instead, probably out of self-preservation, he decided to duck down and go down after a couple yards.
Sets up 3rd and 5 from right at midfield. Blitz coming. Cardinals pick it up. McKenzie throws to the far side, caught by Brown, but he's going to be brought down short of the line to gain. Nice open field tackle made on the far side of the field by Wayne State. I think that was Clifton Buchanan making the stop for Wayne State.
I will say I'm a tad bit surprised to see the punt unit coming out on 4th and 2 when you're in positive territory, but that's what's happening now on 4th and 2 from the 47-yard line.
This is a Wayne State team that has struggled to score.
Now watch what's happening.
They do change the formation. They do give it back to the punter, and then Max Taylor brings it to the near side. It does take an SVSU bounce and is going to be downed at about the 16 or 17-yard line, as Armand Robinson was down there on special teams for SVSU. Stops the clock with 3:22 to play here in the opening quarter, getting you caught up on the other GLIAC games in progress. It has been a high-scoring first half in Big Rapids as Ferris State leads Grand Valley 28-24.
Oh, interesting.
At the half in that one. And the other two games in progress, Michigan Tech leading in the Miners Cup over Northern Michigan 49-10. And Davenport is leading Roosevelt 65-16. Cardinals travel to Davenport next Saturday.
In the Division I level, Indiana having no problem with UCLA, 42-3 in the third. Georgia Tech leads Syracuse 27-10. Ole Miss over Oklahoma 25-13. Virginia and North Carolina tied at 10 with 3.5 to go in the third. And, of course, later this evening at 7:30 is the battle for the Paul Bunyan Trophy taking place in East Lansing as the Wolverines and Spartans will go at it on just a renewal of a feisty rivalry. Let's hope no tunnels are involved in the telling of this story as Michigan and Michigan State get together. There's always something else to it. Speaking of rivalries, in this particular series, the Warriors and the Cardinals have faced each other 46 times over the years. Wayne State used to be called the Tartars.
Yes.
Which I thought was a fantastic ode to condiments. Apparently not. It had nothing to do with tartar sauce. It's something completely other, some other meaning completely. They faced each other 46 times, and the Cardinals lead the series 35-10-1. And the last time Wayne State beat Saginaw Valley was 2019 when the Warriors beat SVSU 24-20 at home.
SVSU has definitely had the better of this one over the course of time. Wayne State, if you remember back in the 2012 season, made it all the way to the national championship game. They had a great offensive line, and their running back was Joik Bell.
Oh, wow.
Who went on to have several seasons with the Detroit Lions.
Cardinals' late substitution coming out of this change of possession on the D-line. Running in at the last minute is Adam LeDuc.
On first down, handoff between the tackles, and then a good job stacking up the fullback as getting the carry that time was Peyton Hatton, the 240-pound junior out of Salinas, California.
So there is likely to be a personal foul called on the Cardinals' Chung. At the end of that play, it looked to me like a after the whistle punch might have been thrown as he is tangling play after play.
After the play, personal foul on this third roughness. Defense number 99.
Number 99 they gave that to.
So they give it to Xavier Chasen, the defensive lineman.
Well, that's the third accepted personal foul against the Cardinals today. There was one that was offset earlier. So this is now 45 yards of complimentary field position through lack of composure. And I actually thought I saw Chung on the back end of that play do a similar thing that could have been flagged. So discipline right now is probably going to be a topic of conversation when this defense eventually comes back to the sidelines.
So Wayne State has it 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Edwards back to pass, throwing to the far side, has a receiver who makes the catch, breaks the tackle, and has the first down, as that was Carrillo again, who moves the chains for Wayne State.
They are showing signs of life, moving the ball and then getting a little assistance from the personal fouls. So Wayne State only down 7-0 here, 2:30 to go in the first quarter, and I would think they're feeling a little bit of glimmer of hope from time to time.
1st and 10 now from their own 49-yard line from the pistol. Handoff goes to Tyus, looking for a lane, picks up about 3 yards, running off right guard that time. James McDonald, the middle linebacker for SVSU, on the stop. And now big substitutions for SVSU along the defensive line.
Cardinals a little thin in the secondary today as well. We talked about it a bit in the pregame show. It hasn't really been tested with any deep balls thrown except for the one that did result in a pass interference penalty. For the most part, this has been a battle of the front seven, and Cardinals running in some fresh bodies here on 2nd and long.
Oh. Edwards loses the football and then falls down at the 35-yard line. He went to make the play fake, and he tucked it in a little too tight. It hit the hip of the running back, and then Edwards eventually, after picking it up, lost his balance. That's all the way back to the 36-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and forever.
Yeah, and JJ, that's sort of in line with what I was saying earlier, where he looks uncomfortable literally taking the snap and transferring the ball to whatever comes next. That was simply going to be a play action pass that probably was a deep ball. And I don't think it was the running back's fault. The quarterback just dropped it on the turf.
So now 3rd and 23 for Wayne State. Cardinals do bring pressure, and Edwards is going to try to take off and run, and he'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Christian Beauvais came on the blitz and eventually finished off the stop.
So if you're Tyrone Wheatley and the offensive coaching staff for Wayne State, you're thinking, man, we had a little something going, and something as simple as just play faking a handoff ends up killing their drive. I think that's been the story of their season. It's just those little things that you never even think could ever be an issue become an issue.
So now Wayne State will look to punt on what may be the final play of the first quarter. This is a much better kick. Braden Hill calls for a fair catch and makes it right at the 30-yard line, and there are 4 seconds remaining in the quarter.
And again, after the whistle, there's more stuff.
And now we see more pushing, shoving. I thought I saw a pretty aggressive push to the face mask and all that exchange, but the officials do not drop a flag.
That time it was Darrell Washington for Wayne State who refused to give up the play, even though a fair catch was made and the whistle had blown. So I don't know, you can call it feistiness, you can call it chippiness, or a combination of the two. Maybe it's Wayne State saying, we did not come here to just roll over and let you walk all over us. But these officials and their yellow flags are going to get a workout at this rate, because there's been a lot of post-whistle activity in this first quarter.
Cardinals will begin this possession at their own 30-yard line. Cardinals with a couple of tight ends in here, 2 receivers split wide to the left. McKenzie from the shotgun, and he gives it on the toss to a fresh running back who has checked in, and that's not going anywhere, as that's going to be a loss on the play. It was Jamerson who had checked back in at running back, but that's going to be a loss, so it'll be 2nd and long for SVSU when the second quarter begins. At the end of 1, SVSU leading Wayne State 7-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Step up to the plate at Curveball Collectibles in Saginaw, your ultimate card shop for sports legends and Pokemon masters.
Pikachu.
From Hall of Fame rookies to Charizards with heat, we've got the cards that keep the game going strong. Buy, sell, trade, and score big, whether you're chasing stats or catching them all. Stop in today at 166 North Center Road in Saginaw or find us on Facebook at Curveball Collectibles, Saginaw Township. Curveball Collectibles, your home field for trading card greats.
Imagine a place where your individuality is celebrated. At Saginaw Valley State University, we create an environment for you to stand out, whether in academics or personal growth. Supported by a caring community, SVSU is where you feel at home, where every corner holds opportunity. Discover a campus that guides your journey. SVSU, where you're not just learning, you're becoming who you're meant to be.
The Cardinals of SVSU fly on WSGW.
JJ Bame, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium. SVSU leads 7-0 as we begin the second quarter. And during the quarter break, officials going and talking to each of the two head coaches. And I would imagine telling each of them, hey, get your players to tone things down a little bit. We've seen a lot of stuff after the whistle.
And there are a number of players out there who currently have one of the two allowable unsportsmanlike calls against them.
McKenzie throws it over the middle, and it is caught. Almost a good job breaking the tackle. I think that was Brown who made the catch there for SVSU.
There's a Martell Williams, I think, who just had the shirt tackle and whipped him down to the ground.
That was actually J.T. Weber who had made the catch. He had checked in at the slot for SVSU. Got it out to the 35-yard line. So it's a 3rd and 5 coming up for the Cardinals.
And you know Wayne State's got to be aware of the quarterback draw. Let's see what else that opens up.
3 receivers now to the near side as Terrence Brown comes in motion. Delayed blitz coming. Cardinals pick it up, and it is incomplete. Braden Hill was open to the near side, and as soon as he threw that football, Mason McKenzie dropped his head. He knew he had an open receiver and just did not deliver the pass the way that he wanted.
He's had 2 passes today that have been really inaccurate, and both of them have come as a result of his mechanics not being solid. And he did not have to be throwing that ball while fading back off his back foot. There wasn't that much pressure on him, and that's what makes it sail. It's either going to be super short and picked off or super long and end up in the sidelines, and option B was what took place. Now the Cardinals have to punt it back.
Cardinals get away a good punt to the far side. Fair catch called for and made right around the 27-yard line. Tegan Lunderink handling the punting chores for SVSU. He's the reigning GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week. Connected on field goals of officially 53 and 49 yards last week, as well as punting effectively. Made a short field goal in there as well, as the SVSU Special Teams were truly special in the win over Grand Valley last Saturday.
Cardinals defensive front this time comes out with 2 of their redshirt freshmen, number 50, Isaiah Plucha, number 55, Mason Nickel. And JJ, if you do nothing else during the course of the next week of your life, I want a nickname for those 2 guys because they are gigantic in the middle of that defensive line.
On first down, they go on the screen. 1 tackle broken, but that's it, as this is going to go for, I think, a loss on the play. The pass went, and I'm going to be interested to see if they score that a forward pass or a lateral to Xavier Tyus, the running back for Wayne State, who does wind up losing a yard in that exchange.
Christian Ellison had a shot at about a 5-yard loss. Didn't quite wrap up the tackle, but they still were able to stop that for a 1-yard loss. And I do not anticipate Wayne State having much success running the ball up the middle. They haven't run it well all season, but the Cardinals have some serious beef in between the hash marks.
Here, pass to the far side, broken up and almost intercepted. Chung read it all the way. He got a hand on it, just could not finish hauling it in.
I think they gave the catch to Wayne State for about a 2-yard gain there. I thought for sure that ball had hit the ground, but I see them moving the chains about 2 yards ahead on a floater pass from Edwards that easily could have been picked off. Chung did close in quickly, made the tackle at the same time as almost making the interception.
So it is a 2-yard pickup. Good eyes by Bill, as it's now 3rd and 9 for Wayne State. Edwards back to pass, throws to the far side, incomplete. And DJ Volt is looking for pass interference because he was the player for SVSU who had the best chance to make a catch on the play, but he actually was grabbed by the Wayne State wide receiver.
Yeah, when you say there's a lot of contact at the point of the pass, usually that means defensive pass interference. That time, if anything, it should have gone the other way. Pass falls incomplete. Cardinals force a 3 and out, and the defense has found its rhythm. Now it's time for the offense to do the same thing.
Braden Hill once again deep to receive for SVSU on the punt. Dove Eitzen handling the punting chores for Wayne State today. Gets a good snap and gets away a rolling punt. Braden Hill comes up, fields it at the 40, breaks a tackle. He's got some room to the near side. Flag on the play. Braden Hill comes across the 40, the 30, and is going to be knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. But I think this one's coming back.
Yeah, that flag came out both at the point of the reception on the punt and then another one further down the field. I think they're going to get Josh Rao for the first push in the back, number 9. I didn't catch the second one, but a good return will be negated and brought back. The Cardinals continue to kind of get themselves in trouble with penalties.
12:26 to play, second quarter. SVSU leading Wayne State 7-0.
And let me take that back.
Holding number 9.
It was number 9.
That declined. Really was locked in the back. Also number 9. That penalty is accepted 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, you were right on the guilty party, and he was guilty twice.
Well, the strange thing is the other flag that came out was 30 yards downfield. So there was something else that happened. I can't imagine that back judge saw the hold 38 yards away. Either way, the Cardinals' nice return and field position is negated. They will set it up now at the Wayne State, or at their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10.
SVSU leading 7-0. Cardinals looking to keep their winning streak alive, as Cardinals went 1-3 during the non-conference portion of the schedule, and then the bye week came at a good time for them because they reset a lot of things. Ryan Brady, the head coach, gave up the play calling duties. He gave that to offensive coordinator Brent Basham. That's allowed Coach Brady to spend more time with each of the units, and that is among the things that certainly has paid off. And I think SVSU also has settled in somewhat personnel-wise on defense, because Cardinals had an outstanding defensive unit last year, lost a number of them to graduation, lost others to the transfer portal, and so you had a bunch of new faces coming in at the start of the season for SVSU defensively, and it took a little while, but last week, in the win over Grand Valley, and certainly through the first quarter plus today, this is a defensive unit that is playing good football.
You can go back to the 2-point conversion attempt by Grand Valley and the Cardinals' excellent defense of it that saved the game as a indicator and proof of what you just talked about. They have hit their stride defensively, and all the pieces seem to be coming together.
McKenzie sees the blitz. Now he's going to take off and run, and he's got a lot of room. Here comes Mason McKenzie to the near side. He's got a blocker in front, and he gets across midfield all the way down to the Wayne State 40-yard line.
I love the recognition downfield by Kakemeister, the tight end. As he looked back and he saw Mason running at him, he just turned and began to look for a white jersey, not one behind the play, because those guys have no chance of catching McKenzie. He turned and looked for somebody who might be on their way to make the tackle, made a good block there for really an extra 8 or 10 yards at the end of a long run.
All the way down to the Wayne State 40-yard line. McKenzie throws. Ooh, what a catch! Man. Down near his ankles by Terrence Brown. It's a 5-yard gain, but that was an outstanding catch.
That was a Spider-Man catch. He didn't even go down to the ground to catch it. His hands did. He caught the ball while still running. Caught it at ankle level. That was impressive. Almost as impressive as his touchdown grab earlier where he went high. So Terrence is showing off a little bit. He's going high, he's going low.
Nick Patterson checks in at quarterback for SVSU on 2nd and 5. And he's going to keep it himself. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, got maybe a yard. Good job by Wayne State that time, as Colby Horn, the defensive end, recognizing that and making the tackle for a gain of just one. And now Mason McKenzie will come back in. Ryan Brady was showing Mason something with his footwork.
Interesting.
And it's something that you had picked up earlier, that on a couple of those passing attempts you were noticing Mason might be a little off with his mechanics.
Now Israel Bradford, the redshirt freshman, comes in at running back. So the Cardinals really mixing up the offensive lineup today.
And now Ryan Brady runs down the sideline and gets a timeout. Mason McKenzie, a couple of designed runs in there, but also several scrambles. He's already at 7 carries for 61 yards on the day. He is the third leading rusher in the GLIAC, coming into today averaging 88.3 yards per game on the ground, including a 100-yard rushing effort in the win over Grand Valley last Saturday.
That is such a weapon, or such a cause of nightmares for opposing defensive coordinators, because it's one thing to try to figure out the passing scheme of your opponent when they're coming to town or you're coming to their place. But when the quarterback also has that ability to use his legs as a weapon like that, boy, it takes one defender out of every play, because you've got to almost assign a linebacker to spy on that quarterback. And theoretically, if all of the pieces of the clockwork are in synchronization, the offense should be clicking, because somebody should be open every play.
3rd and 4 for SVSU coming out of the timeout. McKenzie back to pass, has time, throws underneath. It's caught by Kraft. Then the football comes out. The head judge, or the line judge along the far side, immediately signaling that the ball came out after the catch.
Well, Mason owes his receiver an apology, and I think he just gave him one, because he threw that behind Kraft, and Eric ended up getting pounded from a defender who came in while Kraft was looking the other way. I believe it's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. So now the Cardinals will face 4th and 5. I see the offense is still on the field. This is that part of the field where it's either a 52-yard field goal or you go for it, and I fully support the idea of going for it. But Mason's got to get a little more accurate on his throws today. He's not been on target.
The touchdown pass to Brown was a beauty.
Yep.
But aside from that, as you said,
been a little loose.
Been some struggles for Mason with his accuracy.
And Kraft may say to him, dude, I'm your friend. Don't do that to me again, because he got hit hard.
4th and 4 for SVSU from the Wayne State 34. SVSU leading 7-0. High snap. McKenzie rolls to his right, stops, and he's going to be brought down for a sack. Good job by Wayne State defensively as the Cardinals try to roll out that time, but McKenzie couldn't find his first receiver open, and before he had a chance to look for anybody else, Wayne State makes the play.
Well, when you sit down to watch this on tape later, and the coaching staff will certainly do that, I think you'll find that this play broke down on the snap. That high snap caused Mason to have to leave his feet, to go up and grab it, take his eyes off of the defense. You know, that only takes a second, but by the time you're back to controlling the ball and they're blitzing, there's nothing but white jerseys all around, and Mason had no time, nowhere to go, nowhere to throw, and that was not one of the prettier 4th down attempts that you'll see.
7-0 our score. SVSU in the lead. 10:05 to play first quarter.
First half.
Or excuse me, first half. Second quarter.
And if you'd have told me pregame that with 10 minutes to go in the half, there would only be 7 points on the board, I would have taken that. I would have taken that bet and thought, yeah, there's no chance. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Right now, the Cardinals are, I don't want to be unfair in saying this, but they're sort of playing to the level of their opponent. Their opponent is not having a good season. A win or a competitive run today by Wayne State would really boost their program and probably make their season. The Cardinals have got to extinguish that possibility and get their act together on offense. The defense has done everything it's supposed to do.
Other than the one thing on the defense has been some of the penalties.
Some penalties, that's it.
But aside from that, they have not surrendered much to Wayne State.
Total yards right now for Wayne State, 24.
As they take over at their own 39-yard line. Edwards drops back, throws over the middle, and it is caught. Carrillo makes the catch and picks up the first down. He has been effective out of the slot today for Wayne State. That's already his 4th catch of the game.
And that was easily the best throw from Edwards in this game. Hit him right on stride. Good velocity on it, and it's the first time that I thought Edwards looked comfortable in the whole transition from taking the snap to setting up to throw.
So Wayne State now in Cardinal territory at the SVSU 47. 3 receivers split wide to the left. Handoff to Tyus, running between the tackles. Got maybe a yard on the play. Cardinals coming out of the bye week have been mixing in this 3-down lineman look.
Yep.
And a lot of times SVSU is going with 3-down linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. But even with just 3-down linemen, teams have had a hard time running the football on SVSU.
Well, it's such a change of pace. When you've seen 4-down linemen all throughout the game and all of a sudden you look up, it kind of feels like you've got more room to operate. And then those gaps disappear as the linebackers come in and fill it.
2nd and 9. Edwards, quick pass to the far side. It's caught by Carrillo again, as then Chung makes the tackle right at the 40-yard line, so about 3 yards short of the line to gain. But Edwards now 7 of 10 passing for Wayne State.
A team that has not shown the ability to run the ball has to go to the air, and today the accuracy from Edwards seems to be getting more comfortable as the Cardinals try to get some pressure on this kid, and they haven't been able to get to him.
3rd and 3, as Edwards now looks to the far side for the play call. Just 5 seconds left on the play clock. 4 receiver package. Edwards looking. Now he wants to take off and run. He's got pressure and is brought down back at the 48-yard line, as making the play for SVSU, Jaden Bevier.
Boy, he being Edwards held the ball forever. And unless you're going to unleash that thing and at least get rid of it for an incompletion to live to fight on 4th down, you just cannot expect to get away with holding on to it for that long. And good job by the Cardinals downfield. The secondary held its position, gave no throwing lanes, no running lanes, and they end up getting the stop.
Low snap, but they do pick it up. Eitzen gets the punt away. It's a short kick to the far side, and it goes out of bounds near the 20-yard line. So not much net on the exchange there. Stops the clock with 7:07 to play second quarter. SVSU leading 7-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Heading up north, make Wilson's Cheese Shop in Pinconning your delicious pit stop, just 2 miles off I-75 in the city of Pinconning. Since 1939, we've been crafting authentic Pinconning cheese, from squeaky fresh curds to super sharp aged cheese up to 20 years. Bring the family and sample dozens of cheeses, plus gourmet spreads, jams, smoked fish, and Michigan-made wines and spirits and more. Don't forget to snap a pic with our giant Wilson's Cheese Mouse. Wilson's Cheese Shop, proudly celebrating over 85 years of cheesy tradition. Visit wilsoncheese.com, find us on Facebook, or stop in on M13 in the city of Pinconning.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
J.J. Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where SVSU leads Wayne State in today's contest 7-0. Cardinals coming off a week where one of their alums, Nick Whiteside, getting a lot of love at the NFL level, as he was pressed into service for the Detroit Lions in a banged-up secondary on Monday Night Football earlier this week, and came up with a very, very good defensive effort individually and a convincing win at home for the Lions.
And gave a little love in the rare media opportunities that he gets. He gave a little love back to his old boys.
He did. Made
Very,
a point of
very cool.
Congratulating SVSU for beating Grand Valley.
Never forget where you came from, right?
And it's easy for him because he's got teammate Trevor Nowoski, who also played here at SVSU before going on to play for the Detroit Lions. Cardinals take over at their own 20-yard line. They give it to Brown, and he's going to be brought down behind the line. Good job by Wayne State of stringing out that play. And then Darrell Washington making the stop for the tackle for loss.
That play was intended to go wide, and Wayne State's defense was ready for it. Things have hit a little bit of a back and forth lull here in the second quarter. Both teams have struggled to move the ball.
2nd and 15 for the Cardinals now. McKenzie back to pass. He's going to be hit from behind. He's going to take a sack back at the 13-yard line. Cardinals had 2 receivers go to the far side of the field, but McKenzie didn't feel comfortable throwing it to either one of them, and then Wayne State did a good job in pursuit to drop McKenzie for a loss. It's going to be 3rd and 17.
Yeah, Mason's usually a little quicker at making that decision to tuck the ball down and take off when his receivers are covered. That time he kept waiting for somebody to break free, and it just didn't happen. So this drive is going in reverse.
Cardinals just now getting all of their personnel on the field for 3rd and 17 from their own 13-yard line.
At some point, they're going to try a deep ball.
Blitz coming. They throw it here underneath to Braden Hill, and he takes a big hit along the near sidelines as he gets back near the original line of scrimmage. That was Martell Williams, the middle linebacker, on the stop for Wayne State.
That was very close to taking a big hit after he had already stepped out of bounds, but the Cardinals tried a little receiver screen. It does not work. So it's a 3 and out for this offense that has been sputtering here since the touchdown drive, really. That touchdown drive seems like it happened on a different day.
It was the opening possession of the game for SVSU as we now approach 5 minutes to play second quarter. Tegan Lendrink in to handle the punting chores for SVSU. Gets a good snap and gets a nice spiraling kick. And this one is fielded. And then one broken tackle before SVSU does a good job of bringing down the return man for Wayne State. That was Jordan Bell. But that was an outstanding punt by Lendrink. We've also got a penalty flag at the 45-yard line.
That was a rocket shot from the 5-yard line. One of the better punts I've seen him have all season. Although I will tell you, JJ, I didn't come today expecting to comment a lot about the quality of the punting game. But that's where we are, at least right now. I'm going to head down and talk to Coach Brady here as they head off the field at halftime. I'm going to guess he'll be a tad bit fired up.
There is an illegal block in the back against Wayne State, so they are going to be backed up deep into their own end now.
Well, you talk about flipping the field with a good punt. That's impressive.
So after they walk off the penalty against Wayne State, they're going to spot it at the 19-yard line, and Wayne State will take over there. SVSU got that early lead 7-0. That is still where we stand. 4:52 to play second quarter.
52-yard punt, add another 5 yards onto the back end of it, and a 57-yard change of field position is exactly what you're looking for out of your special teams unit.
Edwards gives it on the pass to the far side. Great job by Sean Hodges to make the tackle on Justice Tuggle, as Tuggle caught that little bubble screen. And the key to that is you've got to either get a block or make the first man miss. He didn't. Sean Hodges did a good job in open space. That's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
Honestly, unless that guy catching the pass on the bubble screen is Amon-Ra St. Brown and the lineman who has slid out to do the blocking is Panay Sewell, I wish every college team would just take that play out of their playbook. It's a mess, and it rarely results in anything good.
2nd and 12. Rolling to the near side is Edwards. He's hit as he throws. Actually, there's a new quarterback in.
Yeah, that's Cox.
Justin Cox had checked in at quarterback for Wayne State. He immediately gets introduced to James McDonald, the SVSU linebacker, who delivered a wallop on the incomplete pass.
Take your quarterback, who was 8 of 11, out of the game and bring in somebody who has yet to take a snap, and they have moved backwards a little bit here. It's now 3rd and 12. It could have been, had there been one little step quicker, that could have been a disaster for Wayne State. The Cardinals were all over that play.
Cox is a 6', 209-pound redshirt sophomore out of Akron, Ohio. Has seen game action for Wayne State this season, and he stays in now on 3rd and 12. And we've got all kinds of penalty flags.
Delay a game, I think, is the primary call. There was motion everywhere. It was like dealer's choice, just whatever you'd like.
So,
wow.
Wayne State definitely going the wrong direction on this possession, and that'll give SVSU a chance to check in 3 fresh defensive linemen.
Well, JJ, you're going to have to help me understand why you're bringing in a new quarterback. Granted, you have no points on the board, so I understand that. But he has been completing passes, and now you're in reverse again. Both teams have traded backwards offensive possessions.
3rd and 17. Cox back to pass, throws to the far side. Incomplete. Good coverage over there by DJ Volts. Cox looked for the receiver who was running a route to the sticks, but Volts had good coverage. And with 4:01 to play in the second quarter, we'll see if SVSU can get something going on special teams. Braden Hill had one nice return already on a punt return here in the first half, but that was called back due to penalty.
You may remember last week the Cardinals had a possession that lasted like 9 minutes or 8 minutes. These last few possessions, this one is 51 seconds. The Cardinals had it for 2:15, previously 2:21.
This is a short punt, and it takes a backwards hop. It's going to go out of bounds. It's inside the 45 for sure. They're going to mark it at the 39. So SVSU is going to take over an outstanding field position. And now this is a spot on the field where the Cardinal offense must capitalize.
Yes, they have struggled. They have been moving in reverse. It's what we saw work earlier was pounding the running game to soften up that defense, and it ended up resulting in the touchdown pass of 11 yards. Let's see if the Cardinals go back to the ground as they have Jamerson lining up next to Mason McKenzie. Mason has struggled with his accuracy thus far in the first half, so perhaps it's time for the big fellow wearing number 3 to carry this offense.
He will get the carry on first down, runs between the tackles, got maybe a yard. Good job by Wayne State up front that time, as Jamerson never did find a running lane. Ryan Whiteley, the offensive guard for SVSU, is going to check out, and Chuck Davidek will check in for SVSU.
Whiteley has the thing that makes everybody cringe when we talk about it. He's got a dislocated finger, and he's having somebody pop it back in for him. And, I've had that, and it still makes my blood curdle. These guys are tough.
2nd and 9. McKenzie has time, throws over the middle. It's caught. Zelensky, he's got a block from Jamerson and gets out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. First catch of the day for Zarek Zelensky, the redshirt freshman out of Waterford Kettering.
That kid wearing number 4 is a weapon. I'm surprised we don't see him get the ball more often, because when he touches it, good things happen.
That gives SVSU a fresh set of downs. Ball advanced down to the Wayne State 27-yard line. Inside 3 minutes to play, second quarter. SVSU leading 7-0. Handoff here to Jamerson, running to the left side. Got a yard or 2. But Wayne State has done a good job making some adjustments defensively. Those running lanes off of right guard and left guard that worked on the opening possession haven't been there on the last couple of attempts.
No, they've really been selling out to stop the run, and they also have some pretty big run-stopping potential up on that defensive line, including number 98, Justin Austin, at 6'1", 304.
McKenzie throws over the middle, caught by Kraft inside the 15. He's tackled down at the 11. They were giving Kraft so much cushion along the near side. McKenzie recognized it. Kraft got a free release, makes the catch, and the Cardinals quickly back to the line. They've got it 1st and 10 from the Wayne State 11, and now we get a whistle. And that is the 2-minute timeout. So SVSU will get a chance to talk things over a little bit and see if they can put this one into the end zone. SVSU leading 7-0. 2 minutes to play first half. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
This is Christiana Malicata, your host of That's What She Said. This week, we're talking with a woman who knows what she wants and plans ahead. Cody Kuczynski spills the tea on looking towards the future, finding fulfillment, and having grace when things just aren't working out. Tune in.
That's What She Said with Christiana Malakata. Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday evenings at 6 on WSGW and online at WSGW.com.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
JJ Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where SVSU, taking advantage of good field position to start this drive, now has gotten a couple of first downs on completions from Mason McKenzie to Zarek Zelensky and then Eric Kraft. And the Cardinals now have it down to the Wayne State 11-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. Cardinals spread the field, 2 receivers wide to either side. Blitz coming. Cardinals pick it up. McKenzie lofting to the far corner of the end zone. Incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Brown. So SVSU now also has an injured player down at the 20-yard line. Stops the clock with 1:55 to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, JJ, I did not get the number of the player who is down, but given the gathering that's taking place around him, this one might be one of the more serious variety, unfortunately.
Wayne State brought a blitz. The Cardinals did do a good job of picking it up, and McKenzie threw it to the back corner of the end zone. That's not where Terrence Brown's route was initially scheduled to go, but he did recognize it and then made an attempt at it, but could not quite haul it in. I think that is Sean Shahu. No, that is David Anchondo, the right tackle for SVSU, who does get a nice round of applause as he is gingerly making his way to the near sideline.
You know, those big fellas do not want to be helped off the field. And, that's kind of a code among the linemen, and thankfully he's able to come off. He obviously is in considerable discomfort. So we'll see what happens in his world at halftime as the Cardinals look now to punch one in here before the half.
After the incompletion, it is 2nd and 10 from the Wayne State 11. Terrence Brown goes in motion out of the backfield. McKenzie, quarterback draw, has some blockers, makes a man miss, sprints into the end zone. Touchdown, Saginaw Valley.
Well, that's what they needed. That was a designed quarterback draw all the way, and the only thing that was going to stop it was the snap. We've had probably a half dozen high snaps here in the first half, so that's something they'll definitely have to address, but good to see them punch that in, get another touchdown before the half. And remember this, JJ, the Cardinals will get the ball to start the second half since they began the game on defense.
And that's a big touchdown before the half, and also give the Cardinals credit. Defense had done its job. Cardinals took over this possession at the Wayne State 39-yard line, and then Mason McKenzie runs it in from 11 yards out. Extra point is good. We do have a penalty on the play. So hold on just a moment. As they're looking to the SVSU sideline, looks like it's going to be against Wayne State. Was 12 players on the field against Wayne State. SVSU declines. Extra point is good. SVSU now leading 14-0. Minute 51 to play first half. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
At Saginaw Valley State University, every student is unique. It's not just about learning. It's about thriving and standing out. With over 100 programs and dedicated faculty, SVSU helps you discover passions, push boundaries, and make lifelong connections. Whether in class, on the field, or in the community, we empower our Cardinals to stand out and succeed. So, what are you waiting for? Stand out with SVSU.
Backhanded pass to Kluchik. Far side, Levi Harbor. Left circle, shoots and scores! Levi Harbor continues the offensive onslaught.
The Saginaw Spirit take on the Owen Sound Attack tonight at 6:50 on 100.5 FM WSGW.
The Cardinals of SVSU fly on WSGW.
J.J. Boehm, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where SVSU gets the touchdown run by Mason McKenzie to extend the Cardinals' lead to 14-0 with 1:51 to play here in the second quarter. Tegan Lundrink with a nice high end-over-end kick as Anderson will bring it back along the near hash, breaks one tackle, still on his feet, finally brought down from behind as he crosses the 35-yard line. That was Gavin Noonan on special teams making the stop for SVSU.
And now, JJ, the imperative is not to get loose on defense with 1:44 to go to the half. The defense has been playing so well. Just don't want to give Wayne State any sort of momentum in this last buck 44 before they head to the locker rooms.
Champion Edwards is back in at quarterback for Wayne State. 3 receivers split wide to the left. He's looking that way, throws that way, and he's got a receiver. It's Tuggle as he gets out of bounds across midfield. Cardinals didn't get quite enough depth in the secondary that time as Edwards did a good job throwing all the way out to the far sideline. That's a nice completion, and Wayne State now into SVSU territory.
Yeah, so either they're going to have to tighten up on coverage or bring a little more pressure. Remember, these quarterbacks have not looked very comfortable at any point for Wayne State, so making them uncomfortable is the way to go.
Edwards, deep drop here, throws over the middle, and it's broken up. Good job by Lewis, the safety for SVSU, getting his left hand in there to break up the pass.
Yeah, there are times when you can come through the back of that receiver and get a flag thrown. Cardinals fortunate that did not happen, so now 2nd and 10.
Brandon Lewis, the transfer from Michigan State, played his high school ball for Lansing Catholic and getting the start at safety for SVSU today. Cardinals, for the second week in a row, definitely shorthanded in the secondary due to injury. And now Wayne State calls timeout. 1:34 to play in the half. SVSU leading 14-0. So this is an important occasion for SVSU to make sure that they can maintain the shutout heading into the locker room.
Well, and more than the scoreboard, or just as important, I guess, would be that idea of momentum. Because if they're going to control the first half of the game, the last thing you want to do is give up that control for the half, especially knowing that you get the ball to start the second half. So this is a pretty key opportunity for this Cardinal defense to just keep on doing what it's done, which is force mistakes by Wayne State and to put a stop to any downfield passing game.
Champion Edwards is 9 of 13 passing for 75 yards here in the first half. He'll drop back to shotgun formation on 2nd and 10. Edwards under pressure, wants to take off and run, and he does break the line of scrimmage. McDonald getting the tackle down low for SVSU. And now we've got another SVSU player who comes up injured after the play. Wayne State has called timeout, stops the clock with 1:27 to play in the second quarter. And I think that was Mason Nickel, the defensive lineman for SVSU.
I believe you're correct. And ever since going down, he has just remained flat on his back. I didn't see how that happened at the bottom of that pile, but they're going to be very deliberate in coming out to take a look at him. It's unusual to see one of the big guys just laying still. Now he's moving his hands and his legs. I'm not trying to be terribly serious, but for a moment there, it was kind of we don't know what's going to happen, and thankfully he's popped up to his feet. The big 5'5", the big double nickel, is able to head off under his own power.
Walking a little gingerly, but is headed off to the near sideline. under his own power, as Bill mentioned. Tyree Hill, wearing number 2 this week for SVSU, checks in along the defensive line, along with Timothy Alonso at 94. Adam Leduc wearing number 11. And they've got him inside on this one. Xavier Chasen, the other defensive lineman, as the Cardinals will go with a 4-man front here against Wayne State on 3rd and 7 for the Warriors from the SVSU 42-yard line. Empty set. Edwards back to pass. Under pressure, rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw back against his body, and it is incomplete. A lot of blue jerseys over there. There are a couple of eligible receivers, but SVSU did a very good job defending that play. And now it looks like Tyrone Wheatley is going to keep the offense out there.
Yeah, so JJ, here on the Cardinal sidelines, as they're preparing to get the ball back, you hear the coaching staff talk about we're going into 2-minute mindset. We're going into our 2-minute drive. They have 2 timeouts left. So when they get this ball back, if they do, their thought is to go down and get some points.
Big play here. Wayne State going for it. 4th and 7 from the SVSU 42. And now we've got movement, I think, from the receiver on Wayne State. And this may change the calculus for Tyrone Wheatley, the Wayne State head coach. Your odds aren't great on 4th and 7. They're pretty poor on 4th and 12.
Yeah, and I understand that Wayne State's sitting here without a whole lot to lose when it comes to their season, but you still want to play smart football. And after that procedure call, that then brings out the punt team. And now with 1:20 left, the Cardinals, who I don't know if they were planning to get the ball back at all, but now they're going to get the ball back with a lot of time on the clock.
Good snap here. Cardinals try to get the block, can't get to it. Braden Hill watches the punt go and trickle into the end zone. Good job selling the fake in terms of trying to signal to the punt cover unit he was going to field it. He came running up. Ball goes into the end zone. Cardinals will bring it out to the 20-yard line. So SVSU will have a chance to run the hurry-up offense with 1:12 and still 2 timeouts at the Cardinals' disposal.
Well, now this is an interesting time. We talked earlier about the weapon that Mason McKenzie's legs are. Well, that's still very much in play with 1:12 to go in the half, as the defense now is going to have to pay attention to a slew of receivers spread out all over the field. When the middle of this field opens up, that's one of those times when we've seen Mason take off and pick up big chunks of yardage.
McKenzie from the shotgun. Drops back to pass, and he tries to set up the screen to Jamerson. He gets a couple of blocks, gets across the 20, and spun down at the 27-yard line. Cardinals won't use a timeout yet. They'll see if they can pick up a first down. Wayne State did a good job reacting defensively on that play. 2nd and 4. Pass to the near side, caught by Brown. He does get out of bounds near the 34-yard line. That will stop the clock with 49 seconds to play in the half.
And that is a hard play to defend. It is such a quick out to the sidelines, and Mason and Brown have that timing down. One of these times, he's going to fake that out and take it up the sidelines. Let's see if it happens on this drive.
Cardinals 1st and 10 from their own 33. McKenzie back to pass again. Steps up in the pocket. He goes down. He's down at the 28-yard line. SVSU immediately has to call timeout. Looked like there was good protection initially, but then when McKenzie tried to step up into the pocket, it collapsed around him, and now Mason McKenzie taking his helmet off, and looks like he might be shaking out the cobwebs as he heads to the huddle along the near sideline as SVSU has used its 2nd timeout, stops the clock with 42 seconds to play in the half.
Well, one of the things the Cardinals have going in their benefit, JJ, is what happened last week with their special teams. I mean, there's always uncertainty as to the distance that you could plan on or count on or even try for a field goal. Well, we saw some leg last week from Lendering, so now the target line is probably the 35-yard line, and that's very obtainable. 42 seconds to go.
Really no breeze to speak of today here at SVSU. So field goals will be their regular distance. Wind definitely was a factor on the road at Grand Valley last Saturday. Loss of 4 on the previous play, 2nd and 14. Blitz coming. Cardinals pick it up. McKenzie wants to roll to the near side. Now he's going to come back, and he's got some running room. If he can run the linebacker, he does along the near sideline. He gets out near midfield as the blitz came. That left man coverage in the secondary for Wayne State, and Michael Jamerson ran a route. One linebacker went with him. That only left one linebacker trying to catch McKenzie, and he couldn't.
Yeah, he does such a good job of recognizing when it's time to take off, and that time the foot race to the sidelines was all Mason.
Cardinals 1st and 10 from their own 49. McKenzie throwing to the far side. It's intercepted. Pass was intended for Kraft, but it is picked off on the far side by Wendell Smith of Wayne State.
Well, that really didn't even require a fantastic defensive play by the Warriors. That was kind of thrown before looking. That pass was never open, and it was an easy pick for the defense. So there goes that scoring opportunity. The Cardinals do still get the ball coming out to start the second half. Now with 26 seconds to go, I would not expect a whole lot from Wayne State here.
They do bring Champion Edwards out at quarterback. 3 receivers split wide to the near side. And it's a bad snap. Now Edwards picks it up. He's going to try to throw over the middle, and it is incomplete as he was looking for Hickmott. And no flag on the play either. That's a tough one when you're the official because, yes, there was some contact, but at one point that was also a live football rolling around the turf.
That was the football equivalent of a fender bender. That was ugly all the way from the snap to the end of the play.
Stops the clock with 20 seconds to play, second quarter. SVSU leading Wayne State 14-0. Cardinals once again going with 4 down linemen here, 3 receivers for Wayne State. Edwards rolling to the near side. Throwing and broken up by Sean Hodges. I think we've also got a penalty flag dropped along the near sideline. So the result of the play is an incomplete pass. Now we'll see what the penalty is.
That ball was in the air for a long time. I mean, there are some sideline routes that have a zip to them, and then there are some that you can almost fair catch. That one hung up in the air a long time. Now the officials are talking with Coach Brady about the 15 seconds left on the clock and the penalty.
So it was an illegal formation call against Wayne State.
I'm kind of surprised, JJ, that Wayne State doesn't just take a knee because they have come close to flirting with disaster on this possession.
They still have 1 timeout. SVSU has 1 timeout. 15 seconds to play in the half. SVSU leading 14-0. 3 receivers split wide to the near side. Edwards has another snap hit the ground. He's going to throw it deep down the far side, and that one sails out of bounds as he was looking for Kilpatrick, the intended target.
How many times can this young man have trouble handling the snap? That time with his hands, and then he just heaved it. I mean, just like out of panic. So this, we'll give credit to the Cardinal defense. They have done everything asked of them in this first half.
Still 10 seconds to play in that half. So far, Cardinal defense has pitched a shutout. Offense has found the end zone twice. So 3rd and 15 for Wayne State now. Edwards does drop back to pass, throws underneath. It's juggled and caught. And this will be tackled short of the line to gain. And now somebody has called timeout with 2 seconds to play in the half. Josh Brown almost was able to make an interception. He did wind up getting a piece of the tackle.
That ball was up for grabs all the way until the whistle. I thought it might be ripped out of the receiver's hands. with 2 seconds left, I have not yet seen the potential for Wayne State to throw a Hail Mary. But I guess that's essentially what they're going to have to try to do here.
Yes. So that's the only option you have, but you're resting the ball back at your own 42-yard line. So we'll see what type of an arm Edwards has, but also what SVSU has in terms of their defensive package against the Hail Mary. Beautiful afternoon here in the Saginaw Valley. SVSU coming off a big win on the road at Grand Valley last Saturday. Right now on top 14-0 over visiting Wayne State. And now SVSU will spend its final timeout of the half after they get a look at how Wayne State wanted to line up. Of course, Wayne State could change things. That time they had 3 receivers split out wide to the numbers on the near side.
Well, you don't get to take your timeouts home with you. So when you see the offensive alignment and you realize there's only one thing that can beat you here, and that is a deep ball that somehow gets past everybody, it makes sense to make sure with that final timeout to get your alignment in order and perhaps even to devise some sort of a blitz package that comes in, takes away the time for that quarterback to set up. And who knows, given the way the ball's been hitting the turf for Wayne State, maybe you create a turnover, something you can scoop and score. You just never know.
So Nathan Kabambe has checked in at safety for SVSU along with Chung, and they are each standing down at the 20-yard line, so more than 40 yards downfield on what will be the final play of the half, barring a penalty. Cardinals do bring pressure, and the pass is caught, and that's even short of the line to gain. So Wayne State was going to try some sort of a trick play there, but it does not work, and SVSU will head to the locker room leading 14-0. Bill Hobson is joined by SVSU head coach Ryan Brady.
All right, I heard the coach yell, get in that locker room and don't sit down. What's the message at halftime?
We just got to do a better job offensively. They're moving around a lot up front, and it's causing us, a little bit of trouble. So we've got to get that cleaned up here, and we've just got to put these guys away.
What do you see from your defense? They've done, I think, everything asked of them so far.
Yeah, we're stopping the run, and we're really forcing them to be one-dimensional. And so now we're putting a lot of pressure on their offensive line to protect. And so, defensively doing a good job. We've had to make some adjustments. The coaches did a good job. Players have responded.
It feels from my world like you're maybe 2 plays away from busting this thing wide open. Does it feel that way to you when you look at the offense?
It doesn't feel like that way yet, but I hope it feels that way soon.
All right, get in there.
Yeah, thank
you. Coach Brady's a little fired up, as you can imagine, JJ, and I don't think you want to bring the women and children into the locker room for this particular few moments because they've had so many opportunities and left a lot on the field. And I think for the most part, if you had pregame, if you had talked about what you think will be the areas of strength, you would say the Cardinals offense would be able to move the ball rather freely. That hasn't really been the case. There's nothing wrong with a 14-0 halftime lead, but the intention is to come out of the locker room and expand on that and put this game away.
SVSU does lead at the half, 14-0 over Wayne State. We'll be back in a moment. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
In Old Town Saginaw, there's a pizza place folks can't stop talking about, Old World Pizzeria. Founded by folks who grew up right here in Saginaw, every pizza made from scratch every day with 3-day fermented dough, unbleached flour, imported ingredients. It's about simplicity, craft, and passion. But best of all, it's for everyone. Neighbors, food lovers, folks who just want something real and good. Old World Pizzeria. Your community, your pizza.
This is Eric Shevchenko of Old World Pizzeria in Old Town Saginaw. Come on down and get a slice.
Car trouble? Don't sweat it. At Morgan's Auto Repair in Bay City, we get you back on the road fast. From oil changes to engine overhauls, our expert mechanics do it all with honest pricing and top-notch service. Locally owned and trusted for over 60 years, we treat your car like it's our own. Stop by Morgan's Auto Repair today at 800 Center Avenue in downtown Bay City or call 989-892-0567. Morgan's Auto Repair. Drive with confidence.
Your WSGW morning team.
A tractor trailer collided with another vehicle, spilling thousands of hot dogs across the interstate, causing a large traffic jam. Responding authorities say, "We don't relish having to clean this mess up."
Yeah.
Okay, that's an easy one. Somebody wrote in an article that crews had to muster up the courage in order to... Okay, that's pretty good.
That passed my mind, too.
Yeah. Somebody else suggesting the crews were working quickly to help commuters catch up. Someone suggested that the police need to grill the driver of the truck to find out exactly what happened.
Well, you have to think someone's buns are on the line for this.
Yeah. You see? And maybe that's it. Maybe it was just because it's the food everyone... In fact, we had hot dogs for dinner last night. Put them on a grill.
There you go.
Nothing ever spilled on the Pennsylvania highway, I can tell you that.
They were at the discount Pennsylvania.
It's free hot dog day in Pennsylvania.
My kind of roadkill.
The morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. You're listening to SVSU football on WSGW.
JJ Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium. We're at the half. SVSU leads Wayne State 14-0. Two GLIAC games have gone final. In the Miners Cup in the UP, Michigan Tech defeats Northern Michigan 56-17. And at home today, Davenport puts up 75 on the scoreboard as they knock off Roosevelt 75-23. Early in the fourth quarter in Big Rapids, it is Ferris State leading Grand Valley 31-24.
Interesting. So that one's very much still up for grabs. And for those who weren't with us in the pregame show, let's color in some of the scenarios, because if Ferris wins that game, then when they come here in a couple of weeks, most likely that will be a battle of the conference undefeateds, and they would put Grand Valley out of the picture. If Grand Valley comes back and wins that game, and Ferris comes in here with a loss, you talk about being in control of your own destiny. That's exactly where the Cardinals are. And a quick reminder to everybody that the champion of the GLIAC has an automatic bid into the postseason.
Yes,
regardless of ranking.
Correct. They have gone to a new format. There are now 32 teams, 8 from each of the 4 regions who will qualify for the Division II playoffs, including the conference champions. So if SVSU were to win the GLIAC, they would get an automatic bid to the Division II playoffs. In that game, Grand Valley just went for it on 4th and 3 from the Ferris 21 and did not get it. So Ferris State gets the ball back with the turnover on downs. 8:04 to play in that game. Ferris State leading Grand Valley 31-24. We will send it back to the studios for halftime. In our contest, it is SVSU leading Wayne State 14-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Want to stand out? At Saginaw Valley State University, we break the mold. With hands-on experiences, cutting-edge technology, and professors who challenge you, SVSU is where you can thrive. Discover a campus alive with energy, where Cardinals can support each other. This is your chance to make bold moves, explore new ideas, and stand out. The future is yours. Stand out and succeed at SVSU.
Looking for the best spot near SVSU for all your party needs? Jenny's Party Store on Bay Road, south of campus and north of Tittabawassee has you covered. Family owned and operated, Jenny's has it all. Specialty beer, wine, and liquor to elevate any occasion. Need a keg for your next get-together? They've got that too. And right next door, check out Twisted Smoke and Vape, your vape headquarters, with the best selection around. Jenny's Party Store and Twisted Smoke and Vape, the official tailgating stop for SVSU football. Your one-stop shop for everything you need.
Looking for signs and graphics of all sizes? Sign Tech is celebrating its 35th anniversary serving the Tri-Cities. Conveniently located on Boardwalk Drive off Bay Road in Saginaw, Sign Tech is your go-to for custom signs for your home or business, offering indoor and outdoor signs, vehicle wraps, sign rentals, laser engraving, and even promotional products. Trust the experts at Sign Tech to make your message stand out. Visit signtech1.com or call 989-791-2480. That's 989-791-2480. Sign Tech for all your signage needs. Sign Tech.
The Art Lewis Show.
We don't spend every day, every minute of the show doing just politics. There's so many other things we have to tackle. Local issues, local people, and that's what makes it interesting. The same thing over and over again. We'd all get real bored in a hurry. We get to political discussions, they get heated, but it's not the only thing in life. For some people it is. I feel sorry for them. They're missing a lot.
The Art Lewis Show, weekday mornings at 9 on WSGW. The SVSU Cardinals play here on WSGW.
Hello, SVSU fans. My name is Jason Swackhammer. I'm a member of SVSU's University Communications team, and it's my pleasure to host today's halftime feature where weekly we highlight standout news and happenings from around campus. Today, we welcome back Nick Taylor, Executive Director of Alumni Relations, to talk more about the important work his office is doing to serve and engage our beloved Cardinal alumni. Welcome back, Nick.
Thanks for having me.
Full disclosure here, Nick and I are passionate about SVSU, and it's pretty safe to say that our passion for Cardinal football can sometimes be classified as unhealthy. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
So we've been known to have some very vocal and visual displays of Cardinal Red pride. That being said, SVSU was on the road playing the other Valley last week. Nick and I were on different parts of the state doing our own thing, and it wasn't but 15 seconds until after the clock expired that I got a text from Nick. And let's just say that we were a little happy about the outcome of that game.
I think it's okay to tell the story. My wife has given me permission. So the last time SVSU beat that other Valley, we were sitting together with our wives watching the game, and in a spontaneous moment of joy, we both, as Jeff Janis caught that touchdown in the end zone on the other end, I'll never forget, we both jumped up and gave each other a very manly hug. And both of our wives looked at us like, hey, we're here too. And I've never been able to live that one down. So yes, that might've been the text message that I sent you when the clock struck 0 and it was a Cardinal victory.
Absolutely. Great victory. And to talk about another great victory, how about our Detroit Lions on Monday night and our star? Well, we have two stars now kind of budding there with Trevor, but what about Nick Whiteside and his game and just where he's at? And I mean, he is a living embodiment of Eminem's Lose Yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, it was amazing to see not just him get the opportunity, but also make the most of it. And I think it's a real SVSU story. I always go back to one of the things I absolutely love about being from Saginaw Valley, being an alum of Saginaw Valley, and meeting with our grads and our alumni is we're all very proud and we all work really hard for the opportunity. When that opportunity arises, we try to take it. And I think I got a million text messages, it felt like, from across the state and from friends over who said, hey, did you see this guy from SVSU? He's made like 3 plays. I'm like, yeah, I'm watching. Don't worry. Yeah. We know Nick's an amazing guy. So,
and we've just had, some great support from some local media agencies locally, and just looking at social media in general and how many people are just obviously responding to, Nick and how he did, but also correlating it back to SVSU, and even better. What a cool story about having multiple guys from Michigan playing on that Detroit Lions team too, even beyond Trevor and Nick. So, and both very proud alums, both of them earned their degree here. Trevor having 2 degrees, earning his MBA too. So we're just really proud of them and really happy that things are going well for them.
I think my favorite moment, I don't know if you caught this, but there was an interview with Nick Whiteside after the game where he may have referenced Saturday's outcome as well in the football game. So great job, Nick.
It was awesome. So shifting gears, we know that events are a really big part of what you guys do in the Alumni Relations Office. Congrats on a great homecoming.
Thank you. It was awesome. So awesome. We had just over 800 alumni and family and friends come through our pre-game tailgate area, and it was a lot of fun. I think the weather being 85 and sunny, I don't know that I've had a homecoming quite that nice before, but it was amazing to see everybody and catch up.
Very cool. So we know commencement is just around the corner. And before you do that, we had the senior toast. Can you talk a little bit about what the senior toast is? It's probably a relatively new tradition here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool. We through a generous sponsorship from Garber Automotive, we're able to each semester welcome all of our graduates on an evening where they come in and we have a senior class toast. Everyone gets a glass of champagne. There are also non-alcoholic options out there as well for our grads, for those who wouldn't like that. But we get a chance to raise a glass. Dr. Grant, president, comes in and says a few words. Just, it's really an opportunity, because if you think about it, commencement usually is all about the family, right? Your mom, your dad, family members, they're in the crowd hooping and hollering, congratulating you as you walk across the stage. For us, we see this as a celebration among the grads themselves. We want them to just take a second, relax, enjoy each other's company, have a nice toast for them, and give them an opportunity to celebrate their accomplishments while they're here one more time amongst their classmates. So yes, we got that coming up later this month, and we're excited to be hosting all of those grads.
So on that same note of celebrating alumni success, your next event is the alumni celebration. Can you, what's that all about?
Yeah, very excited. Coming up on November 13th, we are going to be celebrating. We hand out our Distinguished Alumni Awards. The Distinguished Alumni Award process is really involved. It's one of my favorite parts of the job, because I get a chance to hear so many cool stories about what people are doing. We ask alumni to go out and nominate other alumni for the Distinguished Alum. So what I love about this award is it comes from your peers, right? So people can go out, nominate friends, people that they know that are outstanding alumni. We go through then, and our alumni board, which we have a board of 15 members right now, and alumni board sifts through all of those nominations. And let me tell you, this year we had over 150 nominations, and to get that down to 7 awards is quite a process, but it's a lot of fun. The alumni board has a certain rubric that we go through, and we make those selections. So really, when someone is honored as a distinguished alum, it's really cool because it's coming from the alumni base themselves, and we've got some really cool people this year. So inviting any of you out there, you might be alumni, you want to join us, check us out, svsu.edu/alumni. You'll see alumni celebration on there. It's a dinner plated event. It's very nice. I always say it's like SVSU's version of the Oscars, right? We get up and we get to celebrate the extraordinary accomplishments of a few very distinguished alum.
I know, I'm looking forward to it. And it's always a great event. In our last minute, can you share what a new initiative that you've got going on called the Cardinal 100?
Oh, absolutely. Really excited this year. We started a new initiative. We started an alumni giving society. We were looking for 100 alumni to give $100. So not too big of an ask. We're not going out there and asking for millions and millions, but 100 alumni to kind of reach out, say yes, give $100, and then they get to come in. And that's also coming up here in November 19th. We're going to be presenting 3 different student projects, and those alumni who have given the money get a chance to come in and vote on which project we're going to fund. What I really love about this is it's alumni giving back to the institution, but also getting a chance to see what our students are doing to better the campus and their student experience. So excited for that to happen. If you're out there, we are complete with this year's Cardinal 100, but starting January 1st, we'll be starting a new round. We're going to do this yearly, each year, for folks to be a part of that Cardinal 100 program.
It'll be really cool to see what happens with that, and I'm looking forward to that. So thanks again, Nick, and thanks for sharing a little bit of stories with me.
Absolutely, no problem. And you can't see it, but we're virtually man hugging right now.
Make sure to stay right here for the second half of Cardinal football. Join us again next as the Cardinals roll in November by traveling again to the west side of the state, this time to match up with Davenport with a rare noon kickoff. Join me, Nick.
Go Cards! Step up to the plate at Curveball Collectibles in Saginaw, your ultimate card shop for sports legends and Pokemon masters.
Pikachu!
From Hall of Fame rookies to Charizards with heat, we've got the cards that keep the game going strong. Buy, sell, trade, and score big, whether you're chasing stats or catching them all. Stop in today at 166 North Center Road in Saginaw, or find us on Facebook at Curveball Collectibles, Saginaw Township. Curveball Collectibles, your home field for trading card greats.
It's your tread, Dad. Keep your vehicle safe this winter with a new set of tires from Auto House in Linwood. Auto House in Linwood has everything from all-season tires, all-terrain tires, mud tires, and snow tires, and the best tire prices around. Financing is available. Call Auto House today at 989-697-4440. That's 989-697-4440. Spending too much money in your next set of tires is your business. Saving you money in your next set of new tires is their business.
Recognize that sound?
That's your heart racing when law enforcement catches you for drunk driving. Truth is, it's happening more and more these days. Cops are cracking down all across America. If you drive drunk, it's more likely than ever you will get caught and you will be arrested. So don't take any chances. If you're drunk, do not get behind the wheel, and maybe you could avoid feeling like this. Drunk driving, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
News coverage.
As many as 800 people are feared dead in a deadly earthquake in eastern Afghanistan.
The Trump administration is looking to step up immigration enforcement in cities around the U.S. Chicago is a hellhole right now.
Well, it's an invasion with U.S. troops.
News.
Gretchen Whitmer has scheduled a special election to fill the 35th district.
Mike Pacigalupo entering a plea in the federal wire fraud case.
News coverage on WSGW. This is Saginaw Valley State University football on WSGW.
J.J. Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where at the half, SVSU leading Wayne State 14-0. Bill, every once in a while, what you see on paper coming into the game from how a team has performed on the season does show up in the first half of the game you're calling. We talked about how much Wayne State has struggled to run the ball on the season, coming in averaging just 50 yards rushing per game. In the first half, Wayne State 11 carries, minus 18 yards. Wayne State coming into the game converting on just 19% of their third downs. In the first half, Wayne State 0 of 8 on third down. That's why they have 0 on the scoreboard. And for SVSU, I think if the Cardinals can do a little bit to clean up offensively, take away some of the penalties, the one turnover, those kinds of things, there's a lot of points to be had out there for SVSU offensively.
There really are. And, we do our best to give a fair and open assessment of what we're seeing. And the reality is Mason McKenzie today has been much more effective with his legs than he has his arm. He's not had a terribly accurate passing day. The interception right before the half was just kind of an ill-advised throw. He is 10 of 15 on the day with 1 interception. He's been sacked 3 times. Now, they put that stat on the quarterback's stat line, but I've never thought that was the right place for it. It should just go against the offense in general, because Wayne State's brought some pressure, and the Cardinals in the first half did not really pick that pressure up very effectively for Mason to give him the time that he needs. So a lot of adjustments, a lot of things to change at the half. The Cardinals did put up 178 yards of total offense compared to 69 for Wayne State. But on my way to grab a little snack at halftime, I stopped by the Wayne State radio booth, and the guys in there, I said, what are you guys' assessments of that first half? And Sean Belegian said, that might have been the longest second quarter in the history of football. He said it seemed like there were 30 punts, and nobody could do much of anything. And it really didn't have much flow or rhythm to it all the way down to the very last play of the half. I am very interested to see what adjustments the Cardinals will make coming out for the second half. And by the way, on the Wayne State side of things, Champion Edwards, their starting quarterback, is 11 of 18 for 89 yards. They did bring in Justin Cox for a few plays. He's got minus 2 yards passing. Their offense has not been good all season. It hasn't been good here in the first half. And as I said to Coach Brady there down on the sidelines at the half, it does feel like you're just a couple of big plays away from flipping the switch, and this game is wide open. So we will see, because we'll see how that halftime speech went, the sermon perhaps, because the Cardinals do get the ball first to start the second half.
It will be SVSU to receive because SVSU won the toss and deferred. SVSU does lead Wayne State at the half, 14-0. Cardinals trying to remain undefeated in GLIAC play. Back in a moment, you are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Heading up north, make Wilson's Cheese Shop in Pinconning your delicious pit stop, just 2 miles off I-75 in the city of Pinconning. Since 1939, we've been crafting authentic Pinconning cheese, from squeaky fresh curds to super sharp aged cheese up to 20 years. Bring the family and sample dozens of cheeses, plus gourmet spreads, jams, smoked fish, and Michigan-made wines and spirits and more. Don't forget to snap a pic with our giant Wilson's Cheese Mouse. Wilson's Cheese Shop, proudly celebrating over 85 years of cheesy tradition. Visit wilsoncheese.com, find us on Facebook, or stop in on M13 in the city of Pinconning.
Want to stand out? At Saginaw Valley State University, we break the mold. With hands-on experiences, cutting-edge technology, and professors who challenge you, SVSU is where you can thrive. Discover a campus alive with energy, where Cardinals can support each other. This is your chance to make bold moves, explore new ideas, and stand out. The future is yours. Stand out and succeed at SVSU.
Are you looking for a reliable place to buy and sell precious metals and coins? Euclid Avenue Coin Inc. has you covered. Are you concerned whether there is gold in Fort Knox? No worries. There's gold and silver available at Euclid Avenue Coin at competitive prices. Euclid Avenue Coin Inc. is Mid-Michigan's premier dealer for silver and gold bullion, as well as coins of all types. Euclid Avenue Coin, located at 602 North Euclid Avenue in Bay City.
Looking to stay in touch with your community? Check out Great Lakes Bay Connections, a collection of shows and podcasts bringing you local voices, telling local stories from local people. Great Lakes Bay Connections features Hey, Great Lakes Bay, Generating Gratitude. That's what she said. United Shades of Gray, Mi Gente on Air, and more. Listen weekends on WSGW, anytime on your favorite podcasting app or at WSGW.com. Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
JT Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium where SVSU leads Wayne State 14-0. The one GLIAC game still in progress besides this one. Ferris State at home now leads Grand Valley 38-24. In the fourth quarter, Grand Valley went for it on 4th and 3 from the Ferris State 21-yard line, did not get it, and then Ferris State put together a nice drive of more than 5 minutes to go on top by 2 touchdowns. Grand Valley does have it at the Ferris State, well, right at midfield, as they have reached the 2-minute timeout in that contest, so it's going to take a touchdown on this possession, an onside kick, and a recovery, and then another touchdown for Grand Valley to have a chance to win in that one. SVSU and Ferris State are the only teams still undefeated in GLIAC play.
And that is heading towards a seismic matchup here. There's only one more home game left this season, which is kind of hard to believe how fast time flies. And when that game takes place here, JJ, if all things play out today and if the Cardinals take care of business next week at Davenport, that's going to be one of the bigger SVSU Ferris State matchups in recent history. And this place should be rocking in a couple of weeks for the final home game of the season. Meanwhile, there's plenty of business to take care of here at hand as the second half gets underway.
Line drive kick. And this one is going to split the 2 return men for SVSU and go into the end zone. So Cardinals will bring it out to the 25-yard line, and we'll see what SVSU can get going offensively here in the second half. In the first half, the legs of Mason McKenzie worked pretty well as he had 12 carries for 81 yards, including a touchdown. Aside from that, not much else worked consistently for SVSU.
Yep, the offensive flow wasn't there. Michael Jamerson not able to get on track because there were no gaps for him to run in, right? So this is all about second half adjustments. I do think they'll come out and try to move the ball on the ground a bit. Let's see.
And they give it to Jamerson on first down, runs off the right side, picks up 3 out to the 28-yard line. Jamerson did have 7 carries for 29 yards in the first half, but 16 of those came on one play. So aside from that, as Bill said, it was kind of tough sledding for the SVSU senior running back out of Davison.
Been a somewhat conservative offensive play calling mindset today, which is fine. You're not going to show a lot the week before a big game.
Quarterback draw. McKenzie has the first down, still on his feet, dives forward out across the 40 to about the 44-yard line. So that play has worked consistently for SVSU today, that quarterback draw.
Yep, and if you're a fan and you're sitting here in the stands, you're thinking, why don't you just throw it deep? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? If the basics are working for you, then keep using the basics. If you can beat your opponent with just raw brute strength, win the battle in the trenches, if your quarterback's legs are a little more active than his arm today, there's nothing wrong with that if you're winning.
First down here, handoff to Jamerson, almost spun out of the tackle, does spin forward out to the 47-yard line, gain of 4. And I'm with you, Bill. This is one of those drives where you'd love to see SVSU just be able to really control it on the ground and make this a 3-score game.
There were times of possession in the second quarter for both teams that were under 2 minutes for entire drives.
A couple of it might have been around 1 minute.
There was one that was 1 minute. So sustained rhythm is what you're looking for here. And, of course, points on the tail end of all that.
2nd and 6. McKenzie, play action. He's got time here. He's got Braden Hill wide open, makes the catch down at the 30-yard line, brought down at the 27. They had Zelensky run deep, and then they had Braden Hill come back underneath him, and he was as open as you could be for a pass deep downfield.
And the key to that was protection. Wayne State brought a lot of pressure after Mason, but the Cardinals did a great job of picking it up.
First down, McKenzie quarterback draw again, gets a block from Jamerson, breaks a tackle. Here goes Mason McKenzie, touchdown Saginaw Valley.
Yeah, now that is a quick strike moment to come out of the locker room, come right back out, put together a drive that's, 2.5, not even 2.5 minutes long, but to dominate and do it on your own terms, mostly on the ground, a timely pass, catch the defense off balance, and the Cardinals executed exactly as they were supposed to and probably as they were preached to at halftime.
So the Cardinals come out. They get the one nice pass play, 24 yards to Braden Hill. Aside from that, Cardinals just going with the ground game, including a couple of nice quarterback draws, including the touchdown scamper by Mason McKenzie. Extra point from Lenderink is on the way, and it is good. So SVSU now on top, 21-0, 12:46 to play third quarter. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Hey, nice rack.
Excuse me?
The bike rack on your car?
Oh, right. Thanks. It's for an e-bike. Got it and the bike from Bicycle Village.
Nice. Beautiful frame.
Oh, thank you.
I meant the bike.
Oh.
For the best new and used bikes in your hometown, shop Bicycle Village. Get an e-bike and rack for a road trip or stay idle and fit with Schwinn Fitness equipment. Bicycle Village, serving the Great Lakes Bay Area for over 50 years. BicycleVillageSaginawValley.com.
In Old Town Saginaw, there's a pizza place folks can't stop talking about, Old World Pizzeria. Founded by folks who grew up right here in Saginaw, every pizza made from scratch every day with 3-day fermented dough, unbleached flour, imported ingredients. It's about simplicity, craft, and passion. But best of all, it's for everyone. Neighbors, food lovers, folks who just want something real and good. Old World Pizzeria, your community, your pizza.
This is Eric Shevchenko of Old World Pizzeria in Old Town Saginaw. Come on down and get a slice.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
JJ Beam, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where SVSU now on top 21-0 with 12:46 to play third quarter. In Big Rapids, Grand Valley did get the touchdown to pull within 7. But then Ferris State did recover the onside kick, so it is 38-31. Ferris State with the football and a minute 35 to play in that game.
For all of our talk about the need for an extended possession, drag it out, and dominate, the Cardinals strike 5 plays, 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Sometimes if the defense isn't going to stop you, you just take the points and you keep on going. So here we go. Time to kick off and get the defense back on the field.
Tegan Lendrink going with a high, short kick. A fair catch was called for. So in fairness to Mickey Keller for Wayne State, he didn't call for the fair catch. He was the one who actually fielded the kickoff, but his teammate did call for the fair catch, and you can't advance it after that happens.
I did not know that you could have a proxy fair catch signal. Like somebody else out there could just, signal it for you. And he's probably talking to his teammate like, dude, I was going to run that back. I was going to score because every kick returner thinks that's what's going to happen.
And it's interesting because they're not giving it to him out at the 25.
I actually thought running after a fair catch was a penalty, but apparently not. Justin Cox in at quarterback for Wayne State, number 10.
He had one possession in the first half.
Did not go well.
Here he tries an end around, and this does not begin well either. Christian Bova just did an outstanding job dropping Justice Tuggle behind the line.
Yeah, there was a running back, Xavier Tyus, who was assigned to block Bova, and Christian spun off that block, and the ball carrier ran right into his arms. And that is a really skilled play by the linebacker who has really, really helped this defense all season long. He is a very talented player.
Grad transfer from the University of Michigan, out of Traverse City originally. On second down, Cox throws to the near side, incomplete. DJ Volts read that one all the way.
DJ was kind of hoping that pass was going to be a little lower. It was uncatchable for anybody except an NBA center, and maybe not even that. But if that pass is a little lower, I think DJ's got a hand on it, if not two.
So a negative play, an incompletion, and now Wayne State, who was 0 of 8 on third down conversions in the first half, staring down 3rd and 12 from their own 22-yard line.
They have had a lot of third and longs, that's for sure.
3 receivers and a bunch set to the near side. Cox, under pressure, throws it to the backside, and what a great open field tackle made there by Kabambe for SVSU, but this may be a roughing the passer penalty on SVSU.
I was watching that backfield, and if it is, it's one of the weaker versions of that penalty you've ever seen in your life. The Cardinals' redshirt freshman, the big fella, number 50, is back in the backfield, Isaiah Plucha, and literally the quarterback kind of steps over him and takes an Academy Award-winning drop to the ground, and somehow they bought it. Yeah, that was not an earned penalty as far as my eyes could see.
That was one of the weak spots for SVSU in the first half.
Yeah.
4 penalties, 55 yards, and this one will extend the drive for Wayne State. So they are now 1 of 9 on third down.
Yeah, I know he's going to get an earful when they do film breakdown, but I'm not sure the young man earned that one.
So Wayne State will have it 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. 12:03 to play third quarter. SVSU leading Wayne State 21-0.
They added the 15 yards to the end of the run. That's what the referee wanted to explain to everybody.
So the play did happen.
Yeah.
And then it's 15 yards after that. Cox stays in at quarterback. Out of the pistol, he hands to Tyus, who finds a little bit of a gap and gets out to the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 6. That's one of the best runs of the day for Wayne State.
Yeah, one of the few times between the tackles they've been able to go forward, and he ran into the arms of Christian Bova.
In fact, their long run of the day prior to that was 3 yards.
I think the famous line from the movie What About Bob is baby steps, Bob. And that's maybe how Wayne State is measuring progress in little steps.
2nd and 4. Hand off to Tyus again. He's got the first down. So they go with the pistol look on back-to-back plays and just run it right up the middle. And both times Wayne State's offensive line does its job. Tyus does his job on the carry, and Wayne State does move the chains.
And, of course, the Warriors are looking for any sort of spark that they can find on offense. And if it comes in the form of a different quarterback and a running attack, they'll take it.
10:40 to play, third quarter. SVSU leading 21-0, but Wayne State going back on the ground here. They've got a fresh running back in. That's Devon Bentley. And he's able to get down to about the 43-yard line of SVSU.
Well, they have not had a whole lot working for them, and so if 4 consecutive runs up the gut are what you need, it's been moving the ball a little bit. You know, you'll take 5 yards on first down no matter what team you are, no matter what the scoreboard looks like. And the last few carries have been about 5 yards apiece.
Wayne State once again spreads it out a little bit. 3 receivers split wide to the near side. 2nd and 5. But Cox, this time play action, hit as he throws. He's going down the middle, and it is incomplete. Tyree Hill got the pressure on Cox that time, and Chung had the coverage downfield for SVSU. So 3rd and 5 coming up. See if SVSU can get off the field here.
I don't know that the Cardinals are terribly concerned about the Wayne State deep passing game. They got some good pressure on the quarterback that time. Now 3rd and 5. Let's see if they go back to the run. Nope.
Cox does drop back to pass. Now he wants to run, but he will not be able to as the SVSU defensive line collapses the pocket. Adam Leduc with the celebration. Tyree Hill got a piece of that sack as well. He's wearing number 2 for SVSU today.
Well, that pocket was there for a moment, and then it disappeared in the blink of an eye. And I'm sure that if I'm talking to Justin Cox, he'll tell you, I thought I had somewhere to go with it, and then the sky turned blue, as in navy blue, midnight blue jerseys for the Cardinals. So a nice sack on 4th down, and Wayne State, after a little bit of promise from running the ball, tries to throw it a couple times, and that does not work.
So Wayne State does bring out the punt unit.
You got to be on your guard here against some fakery.
Eitzen gets away a short punt here. Braden Hill calls for the fair catch and makes it at about his own 18-yard line. That's the 7th punt of the day for Dove Eitzen. Timeout on the field, 8:48 to play 3rd quarter. SVSU leading Wayne State 21-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Imagine a place where your individuality is celebrated. At Saginaw Valley State University, we create an environment for you to stand out, whether in academics or personal growth. Supported by a caring community, SVSU is where you feel at home, where every corner holds opportunity. Discover a campus that guides your journey. SVSU, where you're not just learning, you're becoming who you're meant to be.
You're listening to SVSU football on WSGW.
JJ Babe, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where SVSU has had a good start to the second half. Cardinals led at the half 14-0, immediately went down and got an early touchdown on the touchdown run by Mason McKenzie. Then the Cardinals stop Wayne State after surrendering a couple of first downs, and it will be SVSU football at their own 18-yard line with 8:48 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Cardinals looking to finish the month of October perfect, remain undefeated in GLIAC play, and keep themselves very much alive in the conference chase heading into the final 3 weeks of the regular season.
Some other scores from around the country. Georgia Tech beats Syracuse 41-16. Ole Miss beats Oklahoma 34-26. Virginia in overtime over North Carolina 17-16. Memphis over South Florida 34-31. And the Spartans and Wolverines play at 7:30 this evening.
It has gone final in Big Rapids. Ferris State defeats Grand Valley 38-31. McKenzie on first down hits Terrence Brown. Terrence Brown has some room along the near side, and he's out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Give credit to Zarek Zielinski there.
Say that.
The wide receiver, he was supposed to block, but instead he just threw his hands up so he wouldn't get called for a block in the back.
Yeah, because if the only option you have is the back of the defender, you just can't do it. You can get in the way, but you can't push, you can't block. And he had the maturity to pull his hands back and avoid what would have been a wide out in the open call for an official. So good job on all counts there, and an easy first down pickup for the Cardinals.
McKenzie play action, has lots of time. He loses the football
twice,
and it's down on the ground. He went to pass it. He was looking for Terrence Brown. It just came out of his hands. Fortunately, the Cardinals fall on it. As you said, he's lost it once today. Champion Edwards, the Wayne State quarterback, has lost it once today.
Is that like a new ball out of the box that's still slippery? You hear talk about that at times. You know, Tom Brady got in some trouble for changing the air inflation on a ball years ago because of the slipperiness. I don't know. That's twice, and that's really uncharacteristic.
2nd and 12, pass thrown to the far side. It is caught, and holding on through traffic is the tight end, Michael Renzi, as that one was delivered with a little bit of authority from McKenzie. There was good coverage over there, but Renzi hauls it in, and that'll make it 3rd and manageable, 3rd and about 4 coming up for SVSU.
We have not called Renzi's name maybe all season.
Tight end out of Canton. 3 receivers split wide to the left. Terrence Brown comes in motion, now reverses. McKenzie rolling left, throwing back over the middle. Zelensky wide open, then loses the football. SVSU's Chuck Davidak recovered it right at the sticks. So Zelensky makes the catch. There's got to be some slickness to the football.
That's what I'm wondering. It's, obviously the weather is absolutely perfect. It's a little bit chilly, but we are now seeing like it's been greased up or something. It's just coming loose, non-contact fumbles, and yet the recovery did take place beyond the first down sticks, so the Cardinals keep the ball and get a first down. Wow.
McKenzie hands to Jamerson. Can't get to the corner. Maybe got a yard on the play.
It'd be interesting to talk to the guys later and ask if that thing was just, the ball was just super slippery, because we have seen it hit the turf from Wayne State's quarterbacks numerous times today. They haven't coughed up fumbles. They've recovered them, but it's just been a weird day with the ball.
Well, and usually you have several game balls that you have cleared with the officials. So if this one's slick, you
change it out.
Yeah, you do usually have the option to change it. McKenzie looking down the middle, and it's caught. Tony Kennedy right along the numbers. Now he loses the ball, but they're saying it was after he was down. So Tony Kennedy with a big game down the near sideline.
JJ, I want to launch an official ball investigation and get my hands on that thing, because everybody is dropping it. Kennedy did after the catch. He went down to the ground. Maybe the ground broke it loose, but it's been interesting to see how difficult it has been to maintain possession. But what a good throw, good catch and run. The Cardinals picking up big chunks now.
That was a 37-yard gain. Michael Jamerson could not quite get to the hole. He was knocked off balance just enough that he winds up with only a short gain on the play. 5 minutes to play, third quarter. SVSU leading Wayne State 21-0.
Whatever the message was at halftime, it appears to have been well received by this offensive unit. They've been very sharp so far in their 2 third quarter possessions.
2nd and 7. Blitz coming. McKenzie makes the first man miss. Now he's throwing to the far corner. Incomplete. But there's a penalty flag on the play as J.T. Weber was trying to run his route. He was grabbed, and so it'll be a matter now of deciding, was it before the pass was thrown or after the pass was thrown?
Yeah, Jasir Rahman, 6 foot 175 redshirt freshman. I think first is going to be hit for a defensive hold, and then second for pass interference on the same play. The first flag came out well before the ball was thrown. The second one came as the ball sailed over the head of Kennedy. So we will wait for the officials to sort this one out. But we do know this. It'll be an automatic first down for the Cardinals. They went with the pass interference route, and I think that was the right call. He really was kind of desperate to just grab on and prevent a touchdown.
So Wayne State that time came with pressure off the edge that they had a free blitzer on McKenzie, but he made that man miss.
Yep.
Then he was able to roll out to his right, and then Weber, who was in the slot, was trying to run a route to the far side of the field, and he got grabbed.
Well, the problem with the free blitzer was number 94, Mikey Thomas, who's 6 foot 318. Mason's mobile, and all he had to do was a little juke to get away from that behemoth coming at him.
1st and goal from the 3. Handoff to Jamerson. On second effort, he's still struggling, and he's down to the 1. Good job by Wayne State, keeping him out of the end zone on that play. Cardinals will go to work on 2nd and goal.
Their defensive front, they being Wayne State, against the Cardinal running game, they've been pretty stout. They haven't done a great job of containing McKenzie on his quarterback draws, but frankly, nobody has been able to do that all season long. Jamerson now 12 carries, 43 yards, averaging about 3.5 yards a carry. and his long on the day was a 16-yarder back in the first half.
2nd and goal from the 1. McKenzie keeps it himself. He dives, and he gets in. Touchdown, Saginaw Valley.
Mason went low that time. As the window closed, he decided to dive for the blue paint in the end zone. He makes it in. The Cardinals go up 4 touchdowns, and the scoreboard is starting to resemble what we thought it would look like before this game started, as the Cardinals assert themselves out of the locker room in the second half, scoring on each possession.
That is the 3rd rushing touchdown today by Mason McKenzie.
You know, is it possible to have a quiet 3-touchdown, 150-yard rushing day? Because it sort of has felt like a quiet day.
Right now he's at 15 carries for 125. The sophomore quarterback out of Caledonia, Michigan, outside of Grand Rapids, will be playing very close to home next Saturday when the Cardinals travel to Davenport. Extra point is on the way and good by Lenderink. SVSU now on top 28-0. 3:52 to play third quarter. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Car trouble? Don't sweat it. At Morgan's Auto Repair in Bay City, we get you back on the road fast. From oil changes to engine overhauls, our expert mechanics do it all with honest pricing and top-notch service. Locally owned and trusted for over 60 years, we treat your car like it's our own. Stop by Morgan's Auto Repair today at 800 Center Avenue in downtown Bay City or call 989-892-0567. Morgan's Auto Repair. Drive with confidence.
This is Christiana Malagata, your host of That's What She Said. This week, we're talking with a woman who knows what she wants and plans ahead. Cody Krasinski spills the tea on looking towards the future, finding fulfillment, and having grace when things just aren't working out. Tune in.
That's What She Said with Christiana Malakata. Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday evenings at 6 on WSGW and online at WSGW.com.
This is Saginaw Valley State University football on WSGW.
J.J. Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium. SVSU leading 28-0. Lenderick kicking off. End-over-end kick taken by Anderson at his own 3-yard line. Tries to bring it up the middle. Breaks one tackle. Breaks a second tackle. And finally wrestled down by Noonan and others out near the 28-yard line. And a little bit of extracurriculars again, as we saw a lot of that in the first quarter. Between the first and second quarter, the officials went and talked to the head coach on each of the two sidelines, and that did seem to tone things down for a while.
That particular block took place about 4 yards out of bounds, and the referee came in to make sure the young men knew that hospitality was part of the order of the day. No foul, no penalty was called, and we're ready to go on offense here.
And I think it is Cox staying in at quarterback for Wayne State. We've had movement, and now I don't know that SVSU that's on Wayne State. So SVSU moved, but they did not go into the neutral zone. Well, now the officials are conferring. So the movement happened on SVSU's side first, but if the defender does not go into the neutral zone, it is still an offensive penalty.
That reminds me of the league office calling down from New York to change the call against the Lions. The official already turned on his mic and called false start. And then after the conference, they changed things around. So it's a 5-yard gain for Wayne State, which for most of the game has been their key to success. Cardinal penalties.
So 1st and 5 now. Cox gives it on the toss, coming to the near side. There is no running room there for Tyus. He did a good job on second effort to pick up a yard.
You know, JJ, I do truly have an appreciation for the difficulty that Tyrone Wheatley is in. So running out a different quarterback when you're already having no success on offense, I get it. You want to shake things up. But he appears to have benched his starter, who was 11 of 18, and had some potential to move the ball through the air. Cox has not. And I just find it a curious decision to stick with this situation when you're just trying for some sort of moment of hope by way of scoring. Cox does not appear to be ready to do that.
2nd and 5. He hands it off to the near side. Tyus has the first down and a lot more. Penalty on the play. There was an obvious hold on the edge. So
the Cardinal entire sidelines erupted with that call to help the officials. It was very obvious out on the end where the run does not succeed if that hold doesn't take place. So that one's going to come way back.
Now, it's going to be a matter. It was a spot foul, and it was at least somewhat downfield, and it looks like they're going to call it from the 40. So it'll be 10 yards from the spot.
Holding, offense, number 12, 10-yard penalty from the spot of 5, second down.
And that would be one of the receivers out on the edge. That's Drew Hickmott. And it's you just don't get away with it when it's out on the edge. In fact, it takes me back to the decision that Zarek Zielinski made on the Cardinals' prior possession where he didn't do that out on the end because you're so exposed, you cannot grab hold of anything, you can't push in the back. That's what happened, and it was a very, very obvious infraction.
So after that, because it's the spot foul, it takes it back to the 30-yard line. So it is 2nd and 9 for Wayne State from there. Cox rolling out, trying to run. Adam Leduc hits him and does hold on. Cox does a very good job to pick up some forward progress and gain a few yards.
It's a strong young man. He carried Leduc with him. It looked like it was going to be a loss on the play, and he ends up setting up 3rd and 5. So a good fight by the quarterback, Cox. He's got nowhere to throw the ball, and he's got very little time to do it. The Cardinal defense is smelling blood in the water right now.
Inside 2 minutes to play, third quarter. SVSU leading 28-0.
Third quarter moving much quicker than the second quarter, by the way.
Wayne State does remain in a run formation, but Cox will drop back to pass. And he's going to throw it on the screen, and it goes right through the hands of his running back, Tyus. I don't know if he had a chance to pick up the first down anyway.
No, he was gonna pick up a very, very close meeting with Jaden Bevier, who was all over that play. But you still got to make that catch. You got to bail out your quarterback. It wasn't a great throw, but you got to make that catch.
So Dove Eitzen will come out to punt it away for the 8th time today for Wayne State.
Man, Wayne State plays Grand Valley next week. These guys are going from the frying pan to the fire.
Good snap. Cardinals bring pressure. Braden Hill comes up, makes a diving punt return. It was a very short punt, and Hill did a good job to come up and field it at the 36-yard line. Stops the clock with a minute 21 to play third quarter. SVSU on top 28-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
In Old Town Saginaw, there's a pizza place folks can't stop talking about, Old World Pizzeria. Founded by folks who grew up right here in Saginaw, every pizza made from scratch every day with 3-day fermented dough, unbleached flour, imported ingredients. It's about simplicity, craft, and passion. But best of all, it's for everyone. Neighbors, food lovers, folks who just want something real and good. Old World Pizzeria, your community, your pizza.
This is Eric Shevchenko of Old World Pizzeria in Old Town Saginaw. Come on down and get a slice.
The SVSU Cardinals play here on WSGW.
JJ Bame, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium where SVSU leads 28-0. It was 14-0 at the half. Cardinals have looked much sharper on offense here in the third quarter than they did in the first half. Defense has played well throughout. And Cardinals building on their very impressive 20-19 victory on the road at Grand Valley last Saturday. And that was followed up on Monday Night Football with a great performance by SVSU alum Nick Whiteside for the Detroit Lions.
And Trevor Nowaski had a good game as well. These guys are not only on the team, they're getting playing time. It's very cool.
Well, Nick Whiteside, when it was all said and done, played 40 snaps on defense for the Lions and graded out very, very well. Had 3 pass breakups. Former GLIAC Defensive Back of the Year. Here, handoff to Austin Bills. He finds some running room, spins forward, cannot quite break that tackle, but gets out to the 41-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5.
When was the last time Grand Valley was not in the conversation this deep into the season for the conference title.
It's been a while.
I mean, you probably know better than I do, but I don't know that it's happened in the last 15 years.
And that's 3 losses for Grand Valley, which I would think all but eliminates them from the playoff conversation.
Can't imagine them sneaking in at this point.
McKenzie lost his footing, lost the football, picks it up, stays on his feet, and is going to wind up losing yardage after all of that anyway.
And that's an example of just kind of the uncharacteristic snapshots from today's game. Those little moments like that where Mason doesn't know where to go. He's not able to break free and do his normal scrambling magic, and then drops the ball. Thankfully gets it right back again. It's kind of an odd little wrinkle in the day.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll have to run another play here.
They do not. So there's about a 4-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. So SVSU can allow the third quarter to expire, and they will. At the end of 3, it is SVSU leading Wayne State 28-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Looking for signs and graphics of all sizes? SignTech is celebrating its 35th anniversary serving the Tri-Cities. Conveniently located on Boardwalk Drive off Bay Road in Saginaw, SignTech is your go-to for custom signs for your home or business, offering indoor and outdoor signs, vehicle wraps, sign rentals, laser engraving, and even promotional products. Trust the experts at SignTech to make your message stand out. Visit signtech1.com or call 989-791-2480. That's 989-791-2480. SignTech for all your signage needs. SignTech.
Backhanded pass to Kluchik. Far side, Levi Harper. Left circle, shoots and scores! Levi Harper continues the offensive onslaught.
The Saginaw Spirit take on the Owen Sound Attack tonight at 6:50 on 100.5 FM WSGW.
The SVSU Cardinals play here on WSGW.
JJ Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where SVSU leads Wayne State 28-0. The other GLIAC games today have all gone final. Michigan Tech over Northern Michigan as they win the Miners Cup 56-17. It was Davenport over Roosevelt 75-23. SVSU travels to Davenport next Saturday, and Ferris State wins at home over Grand Valley 38-31. So SVSU and Ferris remain the only teams undefeated in GLIAC play. McKenzie has lots of time here, throws it to Terrence Brown, looking for a block, cannot quite get it, and now a late penalty flag comes in.
We got a flag from 38 yards downfield coming into the middle of the field up near where the catch was made. I don't know if there was a hold in there, but
I think it's going to be either a hold or an illegal block against SVSU.
That came in from way back. That's normally the official who calls pass interference, but not much else. And delay of game. That's usually his only 2 calls.
I do believe it's the correct call.
Is there a pick run in there? I didn't really see that.
Now, again, I don't. I think it was after what I saw, I should say, was after the ball had been caught.
Yeah.
But it still looked like an illegal block. So, yes, they must have called it, as you said, more like a pick play where.
Correct me if I'm wrong, JJ, but didn't the play result in a 4th down?
It did.
Why on earth is Wayne State taking this penalty?
It does make it 3rd and very
long, but
I'm with you.
Wow.
I would want the football back. 3rd and 23 officially. McKenzie sets up the screen to Bradford. He's got a blocker in front. Cannot quite get there. Good job by Wayne State to react to it.
We're going to have a roughing call back there, though.
Oh, there is a penalty down. There was a nice play by Amarian Brownlee for Wayne State defensively, but it looks like this one's going to be extended.
As soon as that flag hit the ground, Mason started pointing 1st down. I did not see the contact back there, but that's why you don't take a penalty when you have forced the 4th down and it's like 4th and long still. You know you're going to get a punt back. You don't take the penalty and give the other team a chance to get a 1st down by way of penalty. Wow, that's a wild decision, and it pays off for the Cardinals. And by the way, roughing the passer on a screen pass drives a coach doubly crazy because they're letting you come in, and then you see the ball float over your head. You've got to put the brakes on and apply a little self-discipline. Cardinals get a big break there, get the ball near midfield.
At their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10, handoff to Jamerson. Big hole up the middle. He's got the first down as he picks up about 12 yards. Good job blocking by the offensive line, and could see a lot more of that down the stretch if the offensive line continues to move the pile like they did on that play.
I guarantee you the safety, Logan McGraw, did not want to make that tackle head on with Michael Jamerson. That was a big collision.
And Wayne State takes a timeout, stops the clock with 13:51 to play fourth quarter, and I think this might be a situation of Wayne State wanting to get the right personnel out there, because if SVSU is going to line up and play power football, Wayne State did a pretty good job in the first half against the run.
Catch you up on some Big Ten scores. Washington is leading Illinois 14-10 in the second. Iowa over Minnesota in the second quarter, 24-0. And one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time, JJ, took place today on College Game Day. The comedian, my favorite comedian, Nate Bargatze, was their celebrity guest picker. And when they brought up Iowa and Minnesota, he said, I kind of thought that was the same team twice. And he's not wrong. Iowa's up. For Iowa to score 24 is half a season's worth. They're up 24-0. Indiana beats UCLA 56-6. Nebraska gets one over Northwestern 28-21. And Rutgers beats Purdue. This is definitely the bottom of the conference, 27-24.
Cardinals have it 1st and 10. Penalty on the play. They set up the screen for Bills, trying to get to the far side. Cannot do it. And we'll see what the penalty is. That looks like one of those where somebody's lined up in the neutral zone.
That is the preliminary indication from the line judge. Got hands on his hips, so either he's very impatient or that was an offsides. Speaking of game day, you know the tradition with McAfee and the kick for the students. Today, the kid that he picked from Vanderbilt, who's a chemical engineer, whatever, really smart young man. It would have been good from 55.
Wow.
For $500,000. And I was thinking what a cool thing that would be for you to start the same tradition here for pregame shows using your own money.
I'll give that some less than serious consideration. Handoff here to Austin Bills, who picks up the first down. I mean, the idea is cool.
You've already made the decision.
I don't have $500,000 to put up to risk.
He's doing it every week. Yeah, it was a pretty cool moment. The kid was crying. He's going to pay his parents back for tuition and all that good stuff. So
handoff to Bills again, and he picks up another nice gain up the middle. So Austin Bills getting some work on this possession. The 6'2", 205 junior out of Traverse City Central.
JJ, all I ever see when Austin Bills touches the ball is 8 yards of gain. Every time, all season, whenever it happens.
Here they go on the screen pass to Terrence Brown. He gets some blockers to the outside, and he'll be knocked out of bounds near the 10-yard line.
I'm so impressed with his straight. He reminds me a little bit of like a David Montgomery, where it's not going to be a lot of juking and all that, but you're not going to bring him down on the first contact. Austin's been pretty reliable back when the Cardinals give him the ball.
He stays in at running back here. 12:32 to play, fourth quarter. SVSU leading 28-0. Here, McKenzie has lots of time, looking to the far side, incomplete, but penalty flags come from all directions.
There's just holding taking place everywhere. The safety, Jaden Bush, trying to stick close somehow to Terrence Brown and just was grabbing on like crazy. You know when the flag comes from multiple directions that you're guilty. Now we're seeing the hands on hips.
Yep.
Now we're seeing the different body language from Wayne State. Now we're seeing the realization of another L. And that's kind of, I mean, that's not a huge surprise, but you come into every game just kind of hoping that it all clicks on that day. And in the first half, they put up a very good fight. But this one is out of hand and about to get more out of hand.
Michael Jamerson had checked in as a Wildcat quarterback, and then he went to get people to move. But there's a false start called on one of the offensive linemen for SVSU, and so that will quickly result in Mason McKenzie coming back into the game at quarterback.
Yeah, they got Joe Botello for moving early. He moved early enough that I don't even think everybody else was set yet. It seemed like they were still taking their formation. I'm not really sure that he did anything wrong, but he certainly paid the 5-yard price.
First and goal from the 7 now. McKenzie double clutches. It's juggled and incomplete. He threw that a little bit behind Brown, and that made it a chance for the defensive back for Wayne State. Cardinals fortunate that one fell to the ground.
Yeah, Terrence was open, and had that pass led him properly, it's an easy touchdown. Just a little bit behind him, and could have been picked off just as easily as it could have been caught. We've seen Mason do some quarterback draw activity in moments like this today for a couple of touchdowns.
He goes quarterback draw again, makes a man miss, gets down to about the 2-yard line, and we get another penalty on the play.
If you remember a week ago playing in Grand Valley, how somehow, kind of miraculously, neither team held for an entire game.
I do.
I enjoy that sort of approach to officiating as opposed to what we're enjoying here today. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job. I'm saying that last week nobody held miraculously. It just never seems to flow over from week to week.
So after all of that, it's now 2nd and goal from the 17. Blitz coming. McKenzie pitches it to Jaquan Howard, trying to find a lane. He does get down to the 10-yard line.
That was the kind of an old throwback to a Brett Favre shovel pass where you're in trouble and you just kind of shot put the ball to somebody. And thankfully, Howard was aware it was coming. We do have a Wayne State defender down at the 10-yard line, so both teams will head to their sidelines.
11:47 to play here in the fourth quarter. SVSU, again, in my mind, you can't say enough about all of the adjustments that SVSU made during the bye week after starting the non-conference portion of the schedule 1 and 3. Made a lot of changes in terms of coaching, made a lot of personnel decisions in terms of moving players around and what positions they thought would be best suited for them, all of those kinds of things. And since that has happened, SVSU is 11 minutes and 47 seconds away from being 4-0 in conference play.
And by the way, let's not take those things lightly because it's not easy. If you're head coach Ryan Brady and your entire career you've called the plays, it's not easy to say, you know what, I'm going to hand that responsibility over to one of my assistants. Now, I'm not saying he never trusted his assistants. I'm saying that as the guy who's always called the plays, that's a big deal. And it's worked quite well as this team has rounded into a more complete unit. And it's been fun to watch all throughout this month. Cannot wait to see how it propels forward into November.
Sunshine really coming through now as the shadows also lengthen. Cardinals have it 3rd and goal from the 10. McKenzie moving, backpedals, throws it up, and this one's going to go through the back of the end zone.
Good idea. Good idea. Just get rid of it. You know you've got a field goal and live to score another day. Mason strung that play out about as long as he possibly could and then decided, let's get 3.
So Tegan Lendering, who is your reigning GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week, following his performance last week against Grand Valley, where he hit a 53-yarder and a 49-yarder, and that 49-yarder he made 2 out of 3 times with all of the penalties at the end of the half. This one is blocked. And so this one will not be good.
You know why? Because you were singing his praises. You can't do that.
I gave him the broadcaster jinx.
That one never left the ground. I mean, like, if you've ever tried to hit a 3-wood off the fairway and topped it, that's kind of what that looked like. So I couldn't tell if that was officially a block or just kind of a shank. But either way, it did not result in 3 points, that's for sure.
11-11 to play fourth quarter. SVSU leading 28-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
News coverage.
As many as 800 people are feared dead in a deadly earthquake in eastern Afghanistan.
The Trump administration is looking to step up immigration enforcement in cities around the U.S.
Chicago is a hellhole right now. Well, it's an invasion with U.S. troops.
News.
Gretchen Whitmer has scheduled a special election to fill the 35th district seat.
Mike Pacigalupo entering a plea in the federal wire fraud case.
News coverage on WSGW. The Cardinals of SVSU fly on WSGW.
JT Beam, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where there is no credit for a blocked kick. So officially that is going to be just one of those where the kicker didn't get it up in the air the way that it's required. And so Wayne State will take over at their own 20-yard line, trailing 28-0. SVSU leading with 11-11 to play in the fourth quarter. Justin Cox does stay in at quarterback for Wayne State. Drops back to pass, sets up the pass to the near side, and that will be caught by Anderson for a gain of about 8.
Well, Tyrone's clearly decided to stay with Cox and kind of ride with this offensive look. He's a redshirt sophomore. And when you're winless on the season, you're looking for any spark you can find anywhere.
Here, handoff. This will be enough for the first down as Sterling Anderson gets the carry after making the catch a moment ago. He's a 5'10", 171-pound redshirt sophomore out of Martin Luther King High School in Detroit, transfer from Davenport.
Speaking of Davenport, we should probably plant the seed with any Cardinal fans that are making the trip over to Grand Rapids that the stadium and the school are not in the same location, right?
They are nearby, but yes, the athletic complex that includes the football stadium is about a mile away from the campus you can see from Michigan Route 6. So make sure you are expressly looking for the football stadium.
Or wearing your good walking shoes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. There might be a walking. In fact, I think now that you say that, there is a walking path from the main campus out to the athletic complex, including the football stadium.
Cardinals likely to hold on here and remain undefeated in conference play, but there's no margin for error in this conference when Ferris is also undefeated. So the Davenport game is huge because the Ferris game after that is huge.
On second down, Cox looking to the near side and good coverage. Now a late penalty flag comes in. I disagree with this call. I don't know what you can expect DJ Volts to do differently. He was the SVSU defender on that particular play as he was in coverage against Hickmott.
I'm not going to burn too much energy on that, but that was a horrendous pass interference call. DJ was looking for the ball. His hands knocked it away. They were not on the receiver, and in no way, shape, or form was that pass interference.
Now, I know there have been a lot of penalties called in the secondary against Wayne State in the second half, but I agree with you. That one, in my judgment, should not have been called. Cox looking, can't find anybody. And now this one thrown up for grabs and incomplete. There was good pressure on the play from Xavier Chasen and Jaden Bevier. And when Cox let that one go, there wasn't a receiver who had much of a chance to catch it.
And then Chasen somehow got twisted up a little bit. He was grabbing his left shoulder, and he came off the field, and he's now sitting on the sideline, like 2 yards off the sideline. So big number 99 is out for a moment. I'm not sure if something got grabbed or pinched, but he's hurting.
2nd and 10 now. Cox under pressure, rolling to the near side. Now he's going to try to run, and he steps out of bounds near the 40-yard line. So he'll gain about 6 on the scramble.
I'm not going to call for a holding call, but there was some very active holding going on there that kept the quarterback on his feet instead of being sacked.
8:50 to play. SVSU leading 28-0. Wayne State will have it 3rd and 4 from the SVSU 40-yard line.
And just so everybody knows, it is important for this defense, to keep the shutout alive. That's one of their goals today.
Cox throws it underneath. Great tackle by McDonald, short of the line to gain. The pass was caught by Devon Bentley, but then James McDonald, the linebacker out of Warren D. LaSalle, had coverage and made a great open field tackle.
Bentley got a little twisted up at the end of that as he was rolled over and did not get up from the spot where he was tackled. He's sitting right on the 40 right now as the trainer comes out to kind of look at his left leg. And
looks like it.
Obviously down 28-0. Wayne State will go for it when this injury timeout concludes.
I was waiting for them to spot it, so it will be 4th and a full 2 coming up for Wayne State. And as you said, when you're a defense, you pride yourself on being able to record shutouts.
Yeah, I mean, linebacker James McDonald ran that play down, made the tackle, and that was a big deal. The sidelines kind of erupted. It's sometimes is even lost on the fans sitting in the grandstands what a big deal that is, and that hustle play. I mean, McDonald doesn't get a lot of snaps, and to come in and play well when he gets those snaps is a big deal as well. When they get done with this game, 8 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, the SVSU will celebrate a win. I think that's a fairly safe thing to say. I don't think I'm jinxing anybody. But if they can get to that locker room and then celebrate the shutout, that's a little added incentive for a defense that has really found its stride and celebrated last week its biggest win in years at Grand Valley. Come back and follow that up with a shutout. And as a defensive unit, you've got a lot to celebrate on a day like this. They get a stop here, and I bet you'll see this sideline explode. These guys are into it.
4th and 2, and first SVSU is going to call a timeout. Well, Jaden Bevier wanted to get into the offensive backfield, the SVSU linebacker, but first SVSU will call timeout. And again, as you said, I think sometimes for people who aren't closely connected to the game, it is easy to say, well, why are you calling a timeout up 28-0 with 8 minutes to play? Well, you don't want to surrender any points.
Right. You set out for complete total domination of a game. The offense has been good today, but not great. I think that's a fair assessment. The defense has been fantastic, and had they not harmed themselves with a number of penalties earlier, it would be an even more impressive performance. But they've been impressive, make no mistake about it. Right now, Wayne State in total yards has 121 total yards on the day. At the collegiate football level, my friends, that is essentially a yardage shutout. Now you want to maintain that and carry it over into a scoreboard shutout, where currently it's 28-0. And the Cardinals will treat this 4th and 2 like they would treat a 4th and 2 last week. This is a big deal play for this defense.
Xavier Tyus checks in at running back for Wayne State on 4th and 2. Cox will give it to him. He's hit, but on second effort, he does pick up the first down. Good job by Brandon Lewis to come up and make the hit for Saginaw Valley, but good job on the leg strength by Tyus as he does pick up the first down on second effort.
Yeah, Tyus moved the defenders. I mean, he had some energy, had some power, and some positive lean, and did what he needed to do to move the chains. There was nothing fancy about the play. It was just power straight ahead.
So Wayne State now 1st and 10 from the SVSU 35, trailing 28-0. Cox looking to the far side, and that one is well out of bounds, actually caught by DJ Volts, but that was not close to being in the field of play.
I think he was closer to the sidewalk than he was to being in bounds. That's how far that pass drifted. And at first I thought we were going to see a flag for interference, and I realized that both the defender and the receiver were past the yellow dotted line when the contact took place. So everybody lost track of where the boundary was on that play, including the quarterback Cox, who basically threw it onto the hillside.
2nd and 10 for Wayne State now. It's been all Justin Cox in the second half at quarterback after it was mostly Champion Edwards in the first half. Handoff here to Tyus, runs into the pile, gains a yard. Cardinals still have most of their starters in along the defensive line. And actually pretty much at every level of the defense. At the secondary, Cardinals had to dress a lot of additional true freshmen today. Now they're at home, so you have that option, but Cardinals hoping not to need to use them.
James McDonald, who made the tackle earlier to set up the 4th down, is still down on the turf as the Cardinal training staff comes out to check on him. So one of the other goals in a game like this where the win is already decided is to make sure you get out of here healthy as you can. The Cardinals in the first half lost David Anchondo, one of their key offensive linemen. I shouldn't say lost. He is standing on the sidelines. He's hobbling a bit. But out of a precaution, they're going to keep him out for the rest of this game, of course. He's been noticeably limping. So, you take your dings. This is a physical, violent game. You just hope that you can minimize injuries as you have a handful of very important games still to go. And hopefully, if all goes well, postseason games to go.
Cardinals still very much in the playoff consideration because if they win the conference, they will get an automatic bid to the Division II football playoffs. Cox trying to set up the screen to the near side. He does, but a nice open field tackle made short of the line to gain. That was Anderson on the catch. And after he rolled forward, he gets inside the 30, so this is going to make it 4th and manageable for Wayne State.
And for a moment, I wondered if Tyrone, in search of any sort of points, would bring the field goal unit out in kind of a sad sack field goal moment. But I'm glad to see that they're going for it. They need to build on positive things. So for Wayne State, they'll stay on the field with the full offense now on 4th and 4.
From the SVSU 29-yard line. Cox looking, throws to the far side, and that is caught inside the 10-yard line. And you can see Wayne State is not giving up at all. That was Carrillo with the catch, and Wayne State's going to have it 1st and goal.
He got up celebrating as if perhaps that was a 28-point play. I mean, he was very excited, and you know what? Good for him. They've had their teeth kicked in all season long. Make a big play there, and it's all right to get up and celebrate a little bit. You might look a little silly to the home team, but you made a big conversion there, and now Wayne State is definitely in the scoring zone.
1st and goal from the 10. Cox back to pass. He's got a man wide open in the end zone, and that's caught. Touchdown, Wayne State.
There goes the shutout. And in the far corner of the end zone, I thought that was number 14, Donovan Isaac, who grabbed that, a redshirt freshman from West Bloomfield, so basically attending his hometown school, and kind of got lost back in the right corner of the end zone, and the Cardinals end up yielding at least one today.
Griffin Nowak comes on for the extra point attempt. Good snap, good hold. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So it's now 28-7 SVSU on top. 5:10 to play 4th quarter. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Looking for the best spot near SVSU for all your party needs? Jenny's Party Store on Bay Road, south of campus and north of Tittabawassee has you covered. Family owned and operated, Jenny's has it all. Specialty beer, wine, and liquor to elevate any occasion. Need a keg for your next get-together? They've got that too. And right next door, check out Twisted Smoke and Vape, your vape headquarters, with the best selection around. Jenny's Party Store and Twisted Smoke and Vape, the official tailgating stop for SVSU football. Your one-stop shop for everything you need.
Mi Gente on Air.
Nationwide, it's a difficult time for Latinos. I'm your host, Larry Rodarte. This week, Angel Gomez from Chesney talks about why he started the Latino caucus of the Saginaw Democratic Party and why it's important. Join us.
Mi Gente on air, Saturday mornings at 5 and Sunday evenings at 8 on WSGW and online at WSGW.com. Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
J.J. Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where with 5 minutes and 10 seconds to play, Wayne State on the scoreboard for the first time today. And SVSU still on top, 28-7, as the SVSU dance team performs. The national champion SVSU dance team from earlier this calendar year.
Catch you up on some of the game stats. The Cardinals lead in the first downs category, 24-13. 9 of those have come by way of the pass. Both teams have benefited with 4 first downs by way of penalty. Total plays run, the Cardinals 60, Wayne State 56. That's a much more even number than I think we would expect, although the Cardinals get that way because they've scored on some longer plays. Total yards, 374 for SVSU, 159 right now for the visitors from Detroit. Net yards passing, SVSU 176 to 134. And I think the other big difference that we'll see today is what's happened on the ground. The Cardinals have rushed the ball for 198 compared to 25.
And here there's an onside kick and executed perfectly by Wayne State. And I think the Warriors have recovered.
Yeah, they sure did, because there was a big hit laid on the Cardinal up man. I think, I'm not sure, that was number 42, Kelvin Watson, who got his hands on it and then just got decleated. And that ball came loose. It was either him or it was 11, Jaquan Howard. I couldn't see which Cardinal.
Jaquan Howard was deep.
Okay. Well, then whoever was up front on the hands team had the ball knocked out of their hands, and the rarity has occurred. We have Haley's Comet. We have the Lions getting key calls at crunch time, and we have an onside kick recovered. Those are the rare occurrences in life. And one of them just happened in front of us.
So Wayne State does recover the onside kick. They take over at the SVSU 48-yard line. Cox throwing to the far side. And is that caught? Incomplete, but there are penalty flags down on the play.
I think they're going to get DJ. That time he did not turn and look for the ball. And that almost seems to be an automatic these days if you don't turn and spot the ball.
So that is the call on DJ Volts, the sophomore cornerback out of nearby Carlton High School.
Kind of get that somewhat uneasy, queasy moment in your stomach, like, hey boys, let's close this out in solid fashion here. Let's not get sloppy. Gave up the touchdown to a wide open receiver, and then the onside kick comes back to Wayne State. So let's make sure the defense is still on its game here.
After the penalty, Wayne State has it at the SVSU 33. Cox under pressure, rolling to his right, and now just throws it away. So a good job in coverage, as Cox had time to survey the field, couldn't find anyone open.
One thing that I can say about Wayne State today is that they really have not given up in any way, shape, or form. They are still very much in this game, and that's a credit to Tyrone and his staff, because they have every excuse to just hang their heads and go through the motions. They've been playing pretty hard.
Well, and once you saw the celebration by Carrillo on that fourth down reception, you knew Wayne State is still giving it everything they have.
Yeah, they don't have as much as a lot of other teams, but they have not lacked in effort.
And now Wayne State has to call a timeout. Cox realized that time was running out on the play clock, but the Wayne State sideline was not confident they were going to be able to get that ball snapped in time.
Cox has gotten a little more comfortable with more snaps. We watched him start the second half, and I was kind of like, what are we doing here? The other, your other starter, Edwards, at least had some decent numbers up. Cox has kind of pulled himself together a bit. He's 7 of 16, so the stats aren't going to jump off the page at you, but he has managed the offense fairly effectively. for a team that does not have a lot of offense.
And
on the Cardinal side, Mason McKenzie, 18 of 26 for 176 to go with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. And he has rushed the ball 17 times for 118 yards. Michael Jamerson has 13 carries for 54 yards. Austin Bills, 3 carries for 25 yards. And the Cardinals have 4 touchdowns on the board as a result of those efforts and more.
Wayne State with 1 timeout remaining. They've got it 2nd and 10
Hello.
from the 33. Lots of movement, and this is going to be a false start on Wayne State.
Now, I don't think that in the annals of football history, this game film in general will be entered into a prettiest game ever played category. It's been a lot of stops and starts and a lot of laundry on the field.
Now 11 penalties for each team.
Yeah, I mean, a 22 penalty game is brutal. Sorry, that's rough. 135 penalty yards against the Cardinals, 98 against Wayne State.
2nd and 15. Cox play action, rolling out, being chased, trying to get to the near sideline. He will go out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
He was running for his life and did not want to be caught from behind by, I believe it was number 2 for the Cardinals defense.
That is Tyree Hill today.
And Tyree was breathing hard down the neck of Cox, and he made a beeline for the sidelines out of self-preservation.
He did wind up with a decent gain after that long scramble, so it is 3rd and 7. 4:20 to play. SVSU leading 28-7. After recovering the onside kick, Wayne State has it 3rd and 7. Cox under pressure. It's thrown up for grabs. Incomplete. I don't know if somebody from SVSU got a hand on it.
No, they got a hand on Cox. He got hit pretty good by the defender who's still down on the field. I could not get the number.
So Chung came on a blitz, but he is now back in the secondary.
I think it's James McDonald, but we will see here in a moment when he hopefully sits up here shortly. It was the same person who laid the hit on Cox that caused that ball to flutter downfield. It fell out of bounds. Otherwise, it would have been an easy interception. But we have had a number of players down here after plays today as well.
So Jin-Young Chung, the SVSU safety, came on a blitz, and that was picked up, and then he didn't get to the quarterback, but then one of the defensive linemen for SVSU is still down.
That's Xavier.
Xavier Chasen. 2nd time today he's had to get some medical attention.
Able to come off without any assistance. That's always a good sign. As we'll resume play here in a moment, it'll be 4th and 7 as Wayne State will try again to convert on 4th down. Again, this drive for them is the result of a recovered onside kick. Not something you see every day and not something we were hoping to see today.
So 4th and 7. Wayne State with 3 receivers split wide to the right. Cardinals bring a blitz, and a great job by Bouvard. That's going to be a sack.
Yeah, a little delayed blitz. He waited just a beat once that ball was snapped, and a gap opened up between center and right guard, and Christian did not hesitate at that point, exploded through there, and Cox had no chance whatsoever. He tried to twist away from the grasp of number 40. Christian was not letting go. Cardinals take over on downs. They get that stop, and with 4:03 to go, they will seek to put a sealer on this thing and maybe not even give the ball back.
Reminder of your other GLIAC games today. Ferris State at home defeated Grand Valley 38-31. Davenport, who SVSU will play next, they won 75-23 over Roosevelt. And in the Miners Cup, Michigan Tech defeats Northern Michigan 56-17. Northern Michigan did get their first win last week since the 2022 season. So
how rare we hear of a 75 burger in football.
Yes, it's very rare.
I mean, you're talking not only are you scoring on every possession, you're inventing other possessions and somehow creating more scoring opportunities. Probably got some defensive scores out of that as well. I mean, that's just nuts. Maybe an argument for running clock. Alabama leads South Carolina 7-6 in the second. Missouri and Vandy tied up at 3-all. Vanderbilt, of course, is the surprise team of the year, and on their coaching staff is a gentleman by the name of Jerry Kill, which makes Vanderbilt fans out of a lot of us, and they are 3-3 with Mizzou right before the half.
Nick Patterson checks in at quarterback for SVSU, keeps it himself, and is upended after a gain of 9.
You know, for a guy who's been on the sidelines and probably isn't all that warm, a hit like that can really wake you up in a hurry. He got upended and went head over heels.
Nick Patterson, 6'2", still listed at his freshman weight of 215. I think he's added some in the weight room since that freshman season. Missed last year due to injury.
If he's 215, I'm 215. I want to have that same listing. Coaching staff waving frantically at Patterson for some other adjustment to be made to this alignment as they go on 2nd and 1.
And he gives the handoff to Curlew, and he does pick up the first down.
Seeing a lot of fresh bodies in this game, some different uniform numbers.
So Trace Corlew, a redshirt freshman out of Gladwin.
Listed as a DB on my roster.
Mine also. But that's who I have as 28.
Yep. They're going to take their time getting back to the line. Play clock at 10, game clock at 2:40 as the Cardinals, I don't think, have any intention of giving Wayne State the ball back.
Patterson, quarterback, keeper, running to the left side, gets down to the Wayne State 45, and that should take us to the 2-minute timeout because I don't think either team in any eagerness to stop the clock any further at this point. SVSU now is walking to the sideline, and so that will take us to the 2-minute timeout. SVSU leading Wayne State 28-7. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
In Old Town Saginaw, there's a pizza place folks can't stop talking about. Old World Pizzeria. Founded by folks who grew up right here in Saginaw, every pizza made from scratch every day with 3-day fermented dough, unbleached flour, imported ingredients. It's about simplicity, craft, and passion. But best of all, it's for everyone. Neighbors, food lovers, folks who just want something real and good. Old World Pizzeria. Your community, your pizza.
This is Eric Shevchenko of Old World Pizzeria in Old Town Saginaw. Come on down and get a slice.
The SVSU Cardinals play here on WSGW.
Gigi Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where temperatures have definitely fallen a bit since the start of the contest when it was in the 50s.
See some ski caps coming out throughout the home faithful here.
We are at the end of October. This is the final contest of October, and Cardinals are 2 minutes away from finishing a 4-0 October.
From a home game schedule perspective, it has been absolutely perfect weather every single home game. Now watch, I'll jinx it, and for Ferris it'll be raining sideways and 21 degrees, but it's been absolutely perfect. I mean, if you have attended every Cardinal game this season, you have been blessed with incredible pure Michigan weather, and here we are in late October, and it's still perfect.
Cardinals will have it 2nd and 6. One more first down would definitely secure this one for SVSU. And there you see the bench. Now, again, we're going to give that credit to Corlew because that's who we've got as number 28.
And if it's not him, our sincere apologies to the family represented by the gentleman wearing number 28. But that is all of the information that we have access to. As the Cardinals are just running it up the middle right now with 1:40 to go. Unless somebody busts one all the way to the end zone, I think they will end up eventually in the victory formation.
I am checking the live stats. That also is listed as Corlew. So,
all right, he's a versatile athlete.
Yes. And he'll get the carry again, running the left side, picks up a couple of yards. And SVSU will need to snap it one more time. And now SVSU, it looks like they will line up in the victory formation and just take a knee, because you'll be inside 1 minute to play when this ball is snapped. If they time it just right and snap it with less than 40 seconds on the game clock, SVSU will not need to snap it more than once.
You know, it's funny, JJ, this is sort of, from a coach's perspective, a really instructional way to win. It's not like your players can tune you out all week because you just went out and put up a 75 like Roosevelt got to experience today. You played a game that was passable, it was acceptable, but it wasn't great. The defense was fantastic, but the offense had a lot of issues today. And from a coaching perspective, as you build now for your final 3 regular season games, you won't have any players who say, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. We got everything working for us. They have some things to work on, and they have some big games coming up, including next Saturday over in Grand Rapids.
There's the final seconds as SVSU does win 28-7 over Wayne State. Back in a moment. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Imagine a place where your individuality is celebrated. At Saginaw Valley State University, we create an environment for you to stand out, whether in academics or personal growth. Supported by a caring community, SVSU is where you feel at home, where every corner holds opportunity. Discover a campus that guides your journey. SVSU, where you're not just learning, you're becoming who you're meant to be.
Recognize that sound? That's your heart racing when law enforcement catches you for drunk driving. Truth is, it's happening more and more these days. Cops are cracking down all across America. If you drive drunk, it's more likely than ever you will get caught and you will be arrested. So don't take any chances. If you're drunk, do not get behind the wheel. And maybe you could avoid feeling like this. Drunk driving, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team memorable moment.
The Mob Museum in Las Vegas has announced it's acquired one of the most significant belongings once owned by gangster Al Capone. It purchased Capone's Colt 45 caliber semi-automatic pistol, which he referred to as Sweetheart. His granddaughter, Diane Capone, says, "It's a great pleasure to learn that the Mob Museum has procured my grandfather's favorite handgun. He said that she saved my life on more than one occasion." Yeah, where he murdered somebody else before he was murdered. He was a gangster.
We do have this tendency to glorify, like after a certain amount of time has gone by, certain people, like the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of some names off. I mean, John Dillinger, Billy the Kid, Bonnie and Clyde. Well, anyway, if you'd like to see Al Capone's gun, that is going to be on display at the Mob Museum. Let's hope it's displayed appropriately with the proper references to my grandfather's favorite handgun. Saved his life on more than one occasion. Well, goody.
The Morning Team on WSGW. The SVSU Cardinals play here on WSGW.
JJ Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where SVSU a winner today, 28-7 over Wayne State. Our Meyer player of the game, Mason McKenzie, the SVSU quarterback, 18 of 26 passing for 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but really made his presence felt on the ground. 17 carries for 118 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. So Mason McKenzie, our Meyer player of the game.
Well deserved, and once again, this team's offense revolves around that quarterback wearing number 10. Today, it largely revolved around his effectiveness on the ground as a rusher. For the entire game, the Cardinals' offense put up 398 yards. Wayne State's 157, and Wayne State has seen numbers like that kind of imbalance throughout the season as they fall to 0-8. And I just want to give a big tip of the cap to the defense. No, they didn't face the nation's most potent juggernaut on offense, but they did their job. Yeah, they gave up a touchdown when it didn't really matter, but they held strong and have continued to send the message that a lot of the nation heard last week when they essentially shut down Grand Valley, including in some very key moments, that this defense is for real. This defense is a conference championship contending defense, and it really is up to the offense now to keep pace with them. So next week is another opportunity to build another block on that foundation as they go to Davenport and keep alive this hope of remaining undefeated in the GLIAC Conference.
Again, your other GLIAC scores today, Davenport did win 75-23 over Roosevelt, so this defense will have its work cut out for them next week. Ferris State defeated Grand Valley 38-31, and Michigan Tech defeated Northern Michigan 56-17.
They might be tired at Davenport.
That's possible. They do get a full week to rest up, and it will be a noon kick out in Grand Rapids, so be ready for that one also, because it is going to be a noon kick as we start November, as SVSU is on the road at Davenport next Saturday. With the win today, Davenport is 3-3 on the season. With the win today, SVSU improves to 4-3, including a perfect, to 5-3, and includes a perfect 4-0 in conference play. So for Matt Lester back at our WSGW FM studios and my broadcast partner today, Bill Hobson, this is JJ Bain repeating the final score. SVSU wins over Wayne State 28-7. We thank you for listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
This has been Saginaw Valley State University football on WSGW. This game was brought to you by
Auto House of Linwood, Bicycle Village, Euclid Avenue Coins, Morgan's Auto Repair, Curveball Collectibles, Wilson's Cheese Shop, Randy Wise Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Clio, Romero Meat Market, Jenny's Party Store, Michigan Heroes Museum, and Sign Tech.
SVSU Cardinals football is played here. Now we return to regular programming on WSGW.